Where killer go? Where killer go? Where girl killer I go? We love the girls them. We not desert them, not go hurt them. Fuck her and see masky strength we work them. Yeah. We can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. Say you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. We can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl we cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop beat. Bad man no ice girl over them body. You kill the girl when you do when you horny. If me girl say she no longer want me, me just a lower and go drop this a shawny. Jason get a hot bun. Who no deal with it so him drop him gun. Kill the girl and they a prison lay down. He that kill girl fi tun. Me can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. So you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl when cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop. Man a take your life, me want girl fi breathe. Cause 7 youth already and a 3 more me need. I would bring you come your hand to your breastfeed. Who for belly skin mark up when you deep and seed. Anytime me blend up pinky girl juice, me no take your life pinky girl youth. Any man we kill girl we call them foot. Send film no one give my black suit. Me can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. So you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl we cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop beat. Where killer go? Where killer go? Where girl killer go? Where killer go? Where girl killer go? The girls are my best friend. You hear that? Say me and my best friend have a problem. He's a man that ball and free. Me all beg forgiveness. Nah kill my best friend. Me can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. So you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl we cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop beat. Bad man no ice girl over them body. You kill the girl when you do when you horny. If me girl say she no longer want me, me just a lower and go drop this a shawny. Jason get a hot bun. Who no deal with it so him drop him gun. Kill the girl and they a prison lay down. He that kill girl fi tun. Me can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. So you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl when cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop beat. Me can't go without sexy amount, but bad man nah kill girl over front. So you is a girl, but you is a punk girl. Give me the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sex for a week, but bad man nah kill no girl we cheat. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother he no stop beat.
Can't go without people, can't go without. Hotter people, you don't know. Big up on yourself, give thanks to the reasoning. A little bit late today, but you know, so we have to take care of certain business. That's what I say, so we just log in. So I say, I want to say ashe to all the ancestors, ashe to all African deities. Ashe to Mama Lucy, ashe to Maskin, ashe best friend Louis McDonald, ashe. Ashe Paul Bogle, ashe Sham Sharp, ashe Ikwa, ashe Shaka Zulu, ashe Patrice Lumumba, ashe Marcus Garvey, ashe Malcolm X, ashe. Ashe to all the sisters them who fight, so we could basically be out of the chains and shackles, and the brothers them who fight, so we could be out of the physical chains and shackles them. All of our sisters lost their lives because they stood up against oppressors, they stood up against invaders, they stood up against evil, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. See? Now the reason to the people, I post the question on the caption, you know, why women worship God? Bold question, people. Why women worship God? I want to know. Nickel Percival Green, a Jamaican, he he commented, women has soul Vegas, just that they must not preach, but prophesy or prophesy. Um, so Nickel basically said women has soul, women has soul, they must only prophesy. They mustn't preach, they must just prophesy. All right. Now, big up all the Christian in my login, you know. Big up on yourself, you know, because you know, say, we're not really against you as a person. We're against the religion we are hold on to. It's not you we're against. We're not against any person. You understand? We're not against any people. We are against religion. We're against indoctrination. We're against oppression. We're against hatred. We're against the people and we colonize, especially black people. You understand? We colonize black people. See? And we're against even black people. We fight against black people because we have a of black people that cause our demise. You understand? And still causing our demise. You see what I say? So we're not against anyone as a person, as a human being. However, if you're a human being and you subscribe to bigotry, if you subscribe to um, um, racism, if you subscribe to all of these things where you know, hurt people, we're not really into you. You understand? We don't really want to take tea with you. We're not too show you no love. Because we don't really want to love with enemies them. See? Me and a virgin did a reason off the camera and him saying basically feel sorry for me and him want to help me. So him care about me and him want to help me. Basically if you find back Jesus. Seeing so. Me I try add him now. Seeing so. Him just send a request. So waiting on the brother to come on the program, see if we can learn something from him today. So the question today is, why women worship God? And we talk about God, we have to talk about God of the Bible. Heal up, brother.
Yeah.
Give thanks to take the time out for all the reasoning, see?
Yeah, man.
So the question, we want to throw the question at you as we speak now. I want to ask the question, why women worship God?
Why women worship God?
Mm-hmm.
We're created to worship God, men and women.
Men and women were created to worship God. God no really want him to have a conversation with the people. And then if I did the battery dead or Jesus on the telephone, I tell you what to say. All right? So let me know. People them just excuse me. We were created to worship God. Let me see where I'm a told I say. We're just asking question to the people before we get into it. So why that person I don't understand them people yeah. Come on, Omotolo. As a woman, me ask you why you worship God. Come on, man. Stop the stupidness. Alright, Emma Omotola, we were created to worship God. Okay? Come on, Christians. Come on, Christians. Don't be afraid. Come on, man. Jesus said we must not be afraid. We must stand up and defend him. Jesus said if we not deny him before men, he going to deny before him Father which is in heaven, right? Yeah, come back. The big man credit finished star. All right. I brother now, Damian Peters. Why women worship God? I need some strong answers to the people. I'm not even talking about man, or men. Me talk about why women worship God. And we're talking about, if you want to narrow down the God that we're talking about the biblical God. Yeah? Because maybe some people often say, oh, me not deal with religion, me just worship God. And then you check it out, them I worship the God from the Bible. And then them say, yo, me not into religion, me just worship God. They say, who is your God? My Bible say, my Bible say, my Bible say. So if you go to me say your Bible say, but oh, me not deal with religion, me just worship God, but my Bible say. Then the same God, the Bible people them, and you are worship the same God, and the Christian people them, and you are worship the same God. So me not understand when somebody say, me not deal with religion, me just worship God. Yeah? Then it better you did not go to church. Because you and the Christian them are worship the same God. You see what I say? Alright, more Johnny. More Johnny, send me a request. It look like a medical sense. The true Trinity has been broken. Now women need something to make complete. So real man has been replaced with the imagery. The imagery, son of man. And kind of lost me this up. Oh, sorry, Damien. Do you think, Damien? Do you think? Juliet said her God is within. Heal up,
Man.
brother.
Yeah, man.
Quickly, why women
According
worship
to
God?
one comment was see earlier, it's out of fear,
That's why
Fear.
women worship God?
Yeah, because here we're going. Back in the slavery time, when the women used to look on men and see them being beaten by massa, being castrated by massa, being, all manner of things they do to us. We don't have to go through the details, but we know what happened back then. And the women would look and see this and look at the children and say, oh, what is happening to my children, So do anything with massa say,
So them basically just succumb to
Just
the
do
whole
this, so
thing.
do anything. Yeah, they succumb because I mean it's out of fear, injection, Yeah. I would say so, man. That's my 2 cents on it because I think it's like something they injected in them from since back then, and they had this fear for being victimized and for the children being to go through the same thing that they saw,
them don't want to see for them children come through that.
Nah, they don't see that
So
at all because
them just start obey
yeah,
the teaching.
yeah, so they injected that fear into them, so it passed on even to the genes, Even to the genes, it reached down to after today. It's still the same,
Right.
because this thing and tell you, well, hey, you're going to do anything with Master say, do everything with Master say, just don't disobey. And if it say praise Jesus, yeah, Jesus. Anything him say, yeah, you just agree. So it was something like you put needle to them,
just so that master not cut off a next man.
Yeah. So I fear. So they say, all right, they convert them and bring them to this Jesus thing. And this is all they know. So they will say, all right, here what going on. Kids, or they do exactly what Master say. No disobey him, say Jesus or Jesus. Don't do nothing for him to cut off your neck.
It come like your mother. It come like your mother don't want you get involved in a gang.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because she know the consequences. Yeah, man.
Big up yourself, brother.
Yeah, man. Big up. I'm watching.
All right. Yeah, man. Come like God, fix up the telephone, Steve.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
God, I work it up and done. So quickly now. Tell me why women worship God.
No, you am no. I join the debate, you know, because a man can believe when one believe.
No, man, it's not a belief system, man. We just a reason, man. Why we not always think it's a debate? We not, listen, you know the problem with us as a people? We don't think so we can reason even if we disagree. You see me as a brother? You know, I'm not to do it what you believe now when we believe in. I ask a question because, of course, me share certain information where you don't subscribe to. You understand? Me subscribe to certain information where you don't subscribe to. So I'm not against you, brother. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I think that you should be against me if me subscribe to someone you don't subscribe to, because again, I am not against my brothers and sisters. I against the system that was implemented to keep us divided. You understand me? So why me ask, you know, as a man to subscribe to the Bible and subscribe to the Bible God and subscribe to Jesus? Based on the conversation we made you did that after here. See him?
Yeah.
Explain to me why women worship God.
No, you master. It is my belief, you see, that we all created to worship God, men and women. That's my belief.
Right.
But if a next man don't believe that, I don't know problem. I don't know problem. You know? And next man can believe when believe. Because some believe in a Sikh, some believe in a Buddha, some say Allah, some say cat, some say dog. Whatever them say, no problem. The issue we may have, and the reason why me I try to reach out to you is that I believe and I know as facts some of the things that
No. Wait. You can't say I believe and then you say I know as facts. So which one is it?
Well, if I believe it's my facts. If it's believe it's facts.
No. Hold on, bro.
Right. Let me correct myself.
Believe.
All right. Let me correct myself there. You want me to correct myself?
Yeah, man.
It is my belief. And it may not be facts. Whatever man believe. It is my belief that the things we say often get us in trouble. And that's why I shared the video that I shared with you.
For example, what tell me something that I said that may get me in trouble.
Get you in trouble with God. Get you in trouble with God.
Well, tell me something that I said that will get me in trouble.
Me hear you say some things for an interview. And me in shock because you was a man that was in the church and then you left. But then some of the things that you say against God it's almost like confrontational towards.
Right, but tell me one thing. Tell me the thing that stand out more. You know, when you watch the thing that stood out more and you say, yo, why the man say something like this? You know, what this trouble me? What is it?
You know
tell
what?
me one thing.
Never go find it. We can find it and write them down and then come back to you on that. I can.
Okay.
But it was just really shocking to me because me hear people make certain speech. And when they make the speech, believe me, the fear were inside of me and the concern I have for them. I have to quiet myself.
So you're basically worried about me?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Why? Tell me why though? Why?
Because a mere man can't fight an angry God. And when an angry God is angry at you, you're in a big trouble.
But hold on, brother. You know what you're doing? You're blocking my mission. You understand me? I say, and you're basically trying to abort my mission, you know, because me want to fight with this angry God, but you know I pray and I sorry for me now, and I slow the process down.
Okay. So you want to fight with an angry God?
Yeah. Me I look for him.
Okay.
Like me seriously. Like if you see him and if you talk to him, just tell him say, yo, me I look a war with him.
You look a war with God.
Yeah, good.
All right. Hold on. 1 minute. 1 minute.
You never,
No, me never
yeah,
know.
you never know.
No.
Come on, bro. That's
Wow.
like you
All
need to
right.
study me more then. Yeah.
Oh, no, it seems so. It seems so. Tell me this. You watched the video I sent to you?
The religious video?
It's not a religious video.
Okay, no, me never watch it.
It said 7 people who mock God.
Oh, me see that, man. Me see that. Me see that long time for me used to go to church. Me used to watch it and me used to repeat it. Me used to basically regurgitate the whole system where people mock God and died, and I used to, you know. But me also see this. You watch what me did send you?
Yeah. But people
Eh?
die for various reasons. And not only at the hands of God. Yeah, God deal with some people, of course. But Satan deal with some people as well. So it's not only God. It's not.
Hello?
Sorry about that.
Hello? Yeah.
But yeah, sorry about that. No, it's not only God. Satan deal with some people as well.
Like what? Satan a kill people too?
Oh, you mean? Of course.
Who Satan kill? Tell me one person when Satan kill. You see them 2 little girl here? You want me telling them 2 little girl here? Them 2 little girls here?
Yeah, me see the picture, yeah.
At church, them did I go, you know?
No.
You know that these 2 little girls were going to church when the car crashed and a man running out the car and killed them, right?
No, you tell me, say them I got Disney World to serve God. I mean,
No. Those are 5 children going to Disney World. They were going to a church event at Disney World. But these 2 little girls, they were on their way to church.
Okay.
And a car running at them car and killed the 2 of them.
Okay.
They were going to church.
Okay.
So if you're worried about God is going to let something happen to me like those 7 people that God killed, then why these 2 little girls died?
No.
Going to church.
Satan is behind that. Satan is behind
So, okay. So these 2 little girls on the way to go serve God and God make Satan kill them?
God make. We not say God make. We don't know.
God allowed Satan to kill them?
No, we don't know the circumstance.
No, may I ask you, 2 little girls on their way to church.
Yeah.
To praise God. What killed them? Who killed them?
I believe Satan is responsible for that.
So how is it that God's so powerful and 2 little girls going to worship him and he makes Satan kill them?
No, I don't know the reason. I don't know.
No, but remember your statement, you know. You sent me a video where God killed 7 people. You know the reason why those 7 people died. You said they were mocking God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're saying if I mock God, my fate is gonna be the same.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right. But these 2 little girls, they were not mocking God. They were on their way to serve him.
And I said this is my belief that Satan is behind that. Yeah, that's my belief. Satan is behind that.
So why God never overwrite it?
I don't know. You feel ask him that. Are you bring it up?
No. Brother, come on, man. I just told you I'm looking for him. How could I ask him? If I see him, I ask him. That's the first question.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't claim to know.
But don't you think that it is basically kind of nonsensical for you to tell me, say, God I go do something to me, but you can't explain to me who killed these little girls?
No, because I can't explain all things. I don't.
But how come you can explain my fate?
Huh?
How come you can explain what is going to happen to me,
but
you cannot explain what happened to these little girls?
Because I see it happen before. The example.
But brother.
Me send you.
All right.
4.
Let's go back. South Carolina. 9 people in the church doing Bible studies. A gunman come in there and kill the 9 of them. Who killed them?
Yeah.
God or Satan?
I don't know. Will you ever give an answer to what I know?
If something should happen to me, who would be the one that killed me?
No, man. If something happened to you, God waste you. I tell you that. Because of
So
your
God, but
That's
is so, but him, so God did not kill me, right? For what? For talking against him?
for yes, because you said some malicious things against him. Yeah. Yeah. In mockery most a lot of times too. Yeah.
So how comes the dictators them around the world that kill so much people, him now do nothing to them?
Enough of them get wasted, of course.
A pastor in Jamaica just admitted that he molested an underage girl in his church. Why God never kill him?
You have to
The
ask.
Jamaica Gleaner today,
You have to ask
as
us
a report.
because you can't. And the next thing you can't. Just because you see the title pastor, you see, no means that them a real pastor anyway.
Yeah, I understand that, but why is he in the house of the Lord impersonating a real pastor and molesting little children and God don't kill him, but God will go kill me?
No, no. In time I come, you know. Every man have them time. Then time I come. Don't believe say God fall asleep. In time I come.
So you're gonna live. You're gonna live forever.
Me in heaven, yeah, yeah, in heaven.
So if a truck lick you down tomorrow, what must think if a truck lick you down tomorrow?
No truck now lick me down tomorrow. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. No truck now lick me down tomorrow.
What if you die in your sleep tomorrow?
No, it never happen, you know.
What if you die in your sleep tomorrow?
It never happen. You know why? I have work for do. I have work for do, so therefore it never happen. You see what I say?
So no Christian no die today.
Eh?
No Christian no die today.
No Christian died today. Because then time up. And them fulfill the plan where them supposed to fulfill. And some of them
Even the young ones.
some of them fulfill the plan where them supposed to fulfill at them time up.
Let's get back to the reason then. Let's get back to the question of the day. A woman and a man in a garden, right? God put a man and a woman in a garden, right?
Yeah.
And the woman listened to Satan, right?
Yeah.
And sinned against God, right?
Yeah.
And God said to the woman, because of your sin, every woman will come after you is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Explain that to me why.
Him choice that. Him choose. Because guess what now? You have a house, no? You have a house. All right. Vegas come out tomorrow morning and say, paint the house here brown. Your neighbor can tell you what to do with your house. Now your house. Now you make it.
Nope.
You build it from people. No.
Yep.
If you about you build the foundation, you tell a man to build the foundation, do this so. And you put on an area where you want to play pool. A guy can tell you, say, no. And you make it your house. A guy can't tell you what to do with it.
Facts.
Facts. Just like the creator, he make man and him can decide what he want to do.
So let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
You have children?
Yeah.
You have girls? You have any girl child?
I have one daughter.
How old she is?
4.
So because of you bring her now, on the earth, see? If me see a beat her and abuse her, I know my business, right?
If me abuse her, yeah, you can step in and say something. Of course.
Why? I know me creator. Are you your daughter?
Yeah, but when it comes to abuse, a different story. A man abuse him daughter. It's not supposed to be so. Yeah, you can. You're supposed to.
Okay, so let me ask you another question then. So if let's say you get 3 more daughters, right?
Yeah.
And the first daughter where you have now, she do something wrong. Would you punish your other daughters because of her wrongdoing?
No, as a man, no. No.
Why? Why?
Because she do the deed. She do the issue.
So you're not like God then?
No, you see, when you understand, you know, I feel him choice, him choose where him want to budget.
Yeah, but he created us in his own likeness and image. Likeness and image, what that means?
Yeah, likeness and image, yeah.
And he said, be holy because I am holy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so if you have a daughter and one of them do something wrong, why you not punish all of the daughters then?
You know, well, Me not believe say me shall polish all of them. Because
It's not a belief, brother. We have moved, we are going, we have followed with Father footsteps. We want to be like God, right?
yeah, but your father, your father can make decisions where you don't know the reason why I make them decisions there. So therefore,
right, I know. But that's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. If me don't know the decisions then where you make, but me I ask if all right. Let me put the question to me then.
Yeah.
To you about me then. If I have 3 daughters,
yeah,
and one of them do something wrong, I'm gonna punish all 3 of them. What would you say?
me not feel they should have do that.
Why? It's my daughter then.
Because
You don't know the reason why we do it.
Yeah, but you have to understand, say, a all-knowing God, you see, make decisions where man may not comprehend. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Okay.
It might do it as an example for those below to follow, for those for
All right. So what is now? So what is now, bro? What is now? So what is now, bro? So an all-knowing God,
yeah,
went into Adam's ribs area,
yeah,
and took out that rib,
yeah,
and formed a woman, right?
yeah.
And before he took out that rib, he knew this woman was gonna commit a sin, and he still formed this woman.
Yeah, because him give it free will, you know. You see?
No. I'm not even talking about the free will. We're not gonna reach the say.
Yeah, but
I'm saying to you.
Free will. Well on.
No, we don't reach the say. We don't reach the say because you can't have free will if you don't know right from wrong. Remember, said them did not know right from wrong. You know.
But slow down.
Well, no.
Well on.
Well, we could go in stages.
No, wait.
We go in stages.
We get the free will before she get creation, you know.
No. You can't have. Hold on, brother. Hold on. You can't have free will. You can't have free will if you did not know good and evil.
No, man. Him say, let us have dominion over fish.
Brother, hold on. Listen up, brother. Listen up.
Yeah.
Listen up.
Yeah.
I cannot exercise free will if I do not know good from evil. They did not know good from evil, bro.
Oh, you mean? Of course, them know it. Or else them wouldn't say, wouldn't say, don't do this and don't do that. Them know it.
So what is the tree of life?
I don't know.
Good and evil.
I don't know.
I'm telling you what it is about. What is about good and evil.
The tree of life is about good and evil.
Right. So they did not know it. They ate the fruit or whatever, and they now knew good from evil. You understand?
I hear you.
Right. So let's go back to the punchline then. So you would all knowing God because you was saying no. You said it's all knowing God knew everything before and after, right?
Yeah.
So he created a woman knowing this woman was gonna sin, right? So he could punish every woman that came after her.
Let me understand this.
Yeah.
Are you asking because you don't know? Or are you asking to create confusion?
No, I'm trying to get answers.
You're trying to get answers, and you truly don't know. You're trying to seek answers.
Remember, you just tell me that God do things that we don't know.
Yeah, I believe so.
Right. So I try to get answers from somebody who know him.
Okay, hold on, slow down then.
Right.
Every question you have,
Right.
I can find you the answer. I know who someone
Please
answer these questions, but
who?
Hold on, no, slow down, but slow down. This person, you can't. You're gonna get yourself in a trouble because if you meet this person and you act the wrong way, it might curse your life. And
I would love for him to do that. I would love for him to do that.
No, him not gonna be.
Why? Why are you protecting me? Why are you protecting me?
Because you talk some things and you don't understand what you say. You don't understand. You come like you don't understand consequences.
Brother, right now as we speak, a baby just died. Why are you protecting me?
Brethren, you don't grow up with a father. You don't grow up with a
No, but me know him, but me not grow up with him, but me grow up with a mother.
Yeah. And your mother because your mother shield you. You never.
So what's the relevance? What's the relevance about not growing up with a father? What's the relevance?
You've never had the discipline of your father. That's why you behave so.
My father was a rumhead. What are you talking about? My mother disciplined me. My father was a drunkard.
There's a difference between a discipline for you.
If I did grow up with my father, I'd turn a rumhead.
You understand? There's a difference between a discipline of a father and a discipline of a mother.
Bro, it's not every father still like me. We teach you them morals and everything. But let's go back to the thing before we divert. Because me don't love meet the man to curse me. But let me ask you, because how comes you serve the same God, but you don't have the power where your friend have?
No, it's not my friend. Is my pastor set above me?
So why?
Set
So
above.
someone is above you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You as
Man.
a man is above you?
Yes, man. Of course. Of course. Just like in your household, your father is above the son.
Come on, bro. Bro, man up, bro. Man up, bro. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Hi.
Yeah, man. I'm above me, for real.
Nice daughter, bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since you're showing your daughter, right?
Yeah.
The book of 1 Corinthians 7 verse 36 says, when a woman reaches the flower of age, she can be married. That means when she starts her menstruation, she can be married. Right? You know about that scripture?
Yeah.
So when it says that if a woman reaches the flower of age, let her be married. Because the man does not behave inappropriately. Would you let someone marry your daughter when she reaches the flower of age?
No, because you can't just say flower of age is one thing. You see, people,
what else is it?
People have to be prepared for marriage. You see what I'm saying?
No, what does the flower of age mean?
She have to be in preparation for marriage. You have to.
No. I'm asking you, what does flower of age mean?
No, I don't believe it just means, as you said, when she reach a menstrual age. I don't believe so. It means also a sense of maturity. She have to be mature.
No. Flower of age means menstruation, brother.
So you just hold on for one reason in there, just like.
No, me not, brother. I'm going with the true meaning of the thing. There's no other meaning for it.
Hold on 1 second. So
Yeah.
conflict right there. So wait, Angel. We're not laughing at it. Behavior.
Wow, Angel came to save you, bro.
Yeah?
Angel came to save you. I think you should go with Angel, bro.
Okay, no.
I think she came, bro. Trust me, God sent her for you, bro.
Huh? No.
God sent her for you. I think you should go with her, bro.
No, you hear me I say. Me no believe it just
bro.
Thing.
I think you should go with Angel because once you have a man ruling over you, if you have a pastor, another man ruling over you, bro, you should. It's not even like you said God is ruling over you. You have to go to your pastor to get to God because your pastor higher than you, bro. I think you should go to. I think Angel came for you, bro.
No, you know me. Me not go to my pastor to get to God. What he's teaching me
right.
how to get to God. He's teaching me.
No, but the Holy Spirit's supposed to do that, bro. No, the Bible says the Holy Spirit is a teacher.
No, yes, me understand that, but hold on. So what was?
Do you have the Holy Spirit?
Yeah, but what was the purpose when Jesus came to teach his disciples? Wasn't he teaching his disciples?
So your pastor says Jesus? Your pastor says Jesus?
Jesus was teaching his disciples, wasn't he?
Is your pastor Jesus?
No, he's not.
So you accept Jesus, right?
Yes, sir.
You're born again.
Yes, sir.
Filled with the Holy Ghost.
Yes, sir.
Sanctified.
Mm-hmm.
So why you still have a man a rule over you?
Because there are things that I still need to learn. Example, you know our culture from Jamaica, right? Our culture in Jamaica is from your grow up and you're a boy.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things come with that.
What?
Nobody tell you what to do when you get to certain age. You grow up in discipline. Number two, we know the girl business. Every boy in a Jamaica, they have 2, 3, 4, and it's normal, it's regular. It's been the
Angel, come for daddy. Angel, come for daddy.
It's been the culture.
So, bro, let me ask you. You sent me a barrage of messages, basically giving me scriptures and telling me. So, how is it that you come now telling me that because a man have more than one girl, he needs somebody to rule over him and teach him.
No.
So somebody have to teach her to not to
No,
have more than.
well, I know, but them behavior in a.
No. Let's speak. Let's not speak about someone else. Let's speak. I'm here attack.
Yeah.
Why you have a man to rule over you?
Well, I know, man. What's wrong with you?
So pastor coach you. So you stay faithful in your marriage.
Yeah, man. Enough things he helped me with.
So if I never pass, you not sex, you not cheat by your woman.
Oh, you mean? Because
I told Angel, come for daddy.
no, because we're misguided. We're misguided. Listen, we're people that need help. We're people that need help.
Yeah, I love Christians, man. I love Christians.
And the most
so hold on.
thing, wait, the most.
All right.
Wait,
so your pastor, hold on. So your pastor drop down and dead tomorrow.
The most important part is, as a people, we think we know God, but we don't. He's teaching us who this God really is and how he behave and how not to offend him. Going back to the point when we reach out to you, how not to offend him.
So hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me get this straight. So your pastor is teaching you who God really is.
Yeah.
How not to offend him.
Yeah.
What again?
How to behave in your marriage, how to behave in your workplace, how to behave around your wife, how to raise your kids, many things, many things. How to walk wisely before others. How to.
All right, let me ask you something personal. So pastor tell you how to have sex?
No, man. I'm not tell you how to have.
Him not go so deep.
Brethren, me didn't tell you that. Me didn't tell you that.
No, me ask you because you have some pastors say you not have oral sex. I'm serious.
No, you never tell me that. We don't.
And some pastors say don't do back shot on them something there.
We're not talking about sex in that.
So how is it is helping you to stay faithful in your marriage and he's not teaching you like what kind of position you must have sex in and what you must do?
No, man, you're going too far, Vega.
No. You went there. You said pastor teach you how to behave in your marriage. Are you saying, brother?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That pastor is teaching you how to. What if the pastor drop down dead tomorrow?
No, money. You not understand who we are dealing with. You never met a man like this before, so you not understand. You're not gonna understand.
You sure say him is not God? You sure say pastor is not God?
No, because he always teach us who God is. He always lead us to God.
How about this? On the real, where your pastor from?
Nigeria.
And where you from?
Jamaica, man. Now you tell me. I ask me, say. Jamaica.
So you couldn't find a Jamaican pastor to teach you?
A Canada, me the man.
So you couldn't find a Jamaican pastor in Canada to teach you?
No, a Vancouver, me the pastor, no Jamaican pastor in Vancouver. Me there. If a Toronto me there, then they're everywhere. A Vancouver me there.
So you can't set up a meet. You can't set up a meeting with me and the pastor. You can't invite me. Make him invite me at church, no?
No, because you're gonna get yourself in a more trouble, youth.
The man is sorry for me again, star. Why you sorry for me again? Me I beg you. Tell the pastor say me want to link up with him.
You can't do that. You'll get yourself in a.
Alright, hear me what you do. Why you do me a favor? Since you have a daughter, my sister, you love your daughter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I tell us that the flower of age mean when a woman start her menstruation, right?
Yeah.
Why you ask the pastor if your daughter start her menstruation when she reach the age of 10 or 11, right? If it is okay for someone to marry her. Why you ask the pastor that?
I'm not gonna ask him no foolishness. A foolishness that. You know what?
No, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, bro.
Yeah, but you know said the context where you
no, bro, are you saying the Bible is foolishness?
No, what I say is when you draw one conclusion from a scripture, you're off because one scripture can mean many things. You're off. When you're gonna draw.
No, but hold on. But the Bible says the scripture does not need private interpretation. So I'm telling you what is there.
Yeah, but when you not understand it, you're gonna draw all kind of conclusion. You're gonna go off. You're gonna go wrong.
So who? So me have to go to your pastor to understand it.
Do what?
So why me can't understand it? Your pastor be teach it to me.
No, you need first of all you need a teacher. And that's why you didn't have problems when them invite you for
Went into Gino Jennings.
no, me no know, me no because and everybody may listen to. Because let me tell you something.
Right.
Enough man send them a pastor, them themselves confused. And the real truth that enough man send them a pastor, they need to sit down.
Hi, Angel.
Joy. enough pastor then confused.
Save daddy.
Enough pastor confused. So you
Yo, let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah.
At least you can do it for your daughter, bro. Just be a man, bro. Somebody make no man tell us them have to listen, them have to talk to God for you, bro.
No,
I think you're old enough now.
No, but slow down. He never said that. You misunderstand. He never said that.
Eh?
He never claimed to be God. He not claimed to be God. He never said that. And him not speak on my behalf either. He might teach us. He might teach us how to.
He might teach you who God really is.
Yeah, because he might say, enough man have preached God, and they don't know God. Enough man have preached, I'm an imposter. You have to understand that. Enough imposter out there. Because them come.
So why God not get rid of them? So why God not get rid of them?
No, man. If you check it deeply, slowly, it's happening. But your eyes.
All right, so let me ask you the last question. So back to the reason. Back to the question. So God punished Eve and every woman that came after her and every woman who is going to come after her. God punished them, right? So is it fair for God to punish your daughter because Eve sinned?
Listen, man. God can do and choose for do.
No, I never asked you that, but I have to choose to do. As a daughter in your hand, see your daughter in your hand the way you love. She's an angel and she come to save you. I'm asking a simple question. Is it okay for her to suffer because of what Eve did 6,000 years ago?
God choose that, of course. Yeah. If God choose that, yeah. Because
if God tell you to offer her as a sacrifice, you would?
Of course. Yeah. If God says so.
That's sad, bro.
Because
that's sad, bro.
Because
that's sad,
bro.
Hold on.
Over you.
Hold on. Let me ask it better.
God rule over me.
If your Nigerian pastor comes to you tomorrow and say to you, God told him to tell you to sacrifice your daughter, would you sacrifice her?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's not funny no more, bro.
Eh?
It's sad now, bro. It's sad, man. That's sad, bro.
No, man. God rule over
Break me heart, bro. Jano Star.
He rule over me, he not rule over you.
Jano, bro, you hurt me, Star. You hurt me, bro.
No, man. Understand. Him rule over me, he not rule over you.
You me hate religion, Star. You me hate religion. Me hate religion, Star.
No, man. You hate where you not.
Can't believe this, bro. Me now hope say that say no, bro.
No. You hate where you not understand. You need understanding. You need understanding. And the thing is, if me introduce it to him, you'll get yourself in a trouble. That's what me can. You'll get yourself in a deep trouble. That's what
if your daughter reach the age of 10 and starts her menstruation, right? And your pastor say you must let somebody marry to her because it's in the Bible that she's now ready for marriage. Would you let someone marry her?
Brother, you may say no, man. You may say.
No, just answer me now, please. No matter go around it. Yes or no?
Around you. Me not go around you,
If your daughter start having her menstruation, right, at 10, would you let a man marry to her at the age of 11?
First of all,
when she pass her menstruation.
You may say no. Him not gonna come to me come tell me that. You know why?
But it's in the Bible, bro.
Yeah, it's in the Bible, but you draw one literal meaning of it.
And no, me not draw one meaning because in the book of Jasher, bro, in the book of Jasher, see? Isaac married to Rebecca when she was 10. 10 years old, bro. So if your daughter reach the age of 10, would you let someone marry her?
Vegas, you may say no, man. You may say.
Why you can't just answer yes or no?
Because you draw one literal meaning for the scripture.
No, let me just give you 2 examples, bro. Me give you 2 examples and I can't go for more.
No, you may say. He's not going to tell me that. Yeah. You know why I know him not going to tell me that?
Yeah.
For over the years, me did it. You see? Me get to learn.
No, but bro, you don't know when God I go tell him to tell you that. You don't know when. Because I remember, son, you know, Rebecca was 10 when Isaac married to her, and Isaac was a man of God. You see what I say? So if she reached 10, and pastor tell us that God tell him to marry her, would you let him marry her?
You me say. You're gonna make me answer you?
Please.
You're gonna make me answer you?
Please.
Okay. My response is this. You see? You can name one scripture in the Bible.
Brother.
Scripture.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, stop pussyfoot, brother. Stop pussyfooting, man. Stop pussyfooting.
No,
hold on, bro.
Say you.
Hold on, man. You not answer me, bro. Me ask you a straightforward question. Isaac married to Rebecca when she was 10. Me ask you as a father, if your pastor come to you and say God told him to marry to your daughter because she is gonna save all God's children, like how Esther did. Remember Esther in the Bible?
Yeah.
Esther basically saved Israel because she went and had an affair with the king of Babylon, you know, brother. So God basically used a virgin, right, to save Babylon. But what if your pastor come to you and tell you, say, in order to save us black people, us Christian people, right, because we're disobeying him, and in order for him to forgive us, you're gonna have to give your daughter to the pastor. Would you give your daughter to the pastor?
Give my daughter to the pastor.
Yeah.
The pastor married. Pastor married.
Bro, you know, listen to me, I said. David was married, and God gave him more than one wife, bro. So that have nothing to do with the argument. I ask you a straightforward question. You can't just say yes or no.
You know me, I said, you draw off a one conclusion after scripture. And based off what I understand, a scripture can mean several different things. Not the one where you are draw off of. You see what I'm saying? It can mean several things. No, check.
Let's say I am right then. Let's say I am right. Can you give me an answer? Just say I am right. Give me an answer. If I am right.
Yeah. If you're right, answer. Give me that again. So you say based on.
All right. So if I'm correct,
so you're saying if the scripture is interpreted the way you're saying it, it's interpreted.
Yeah.
If
pastor comes to you and said, God said he must be with your daughter at 10 years old, and she will be the one to save the Christians to go to heaven.
No.
Would you give your daughter to the pastor?
Wait, no. You can't make. First of all, you can't mix up the pastor, so. You can't mix up the pastor, so.
All right, give her to a church brother who is not married. Give her to a church brother who is not married.
Different argument that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if
you don't give your daughter. Even if he's.
Yeah. And him say God said. So yeah.
What if he's 30?
You really confused, or you really try to create division? A division you try to create? Are you really?
No, religion already did that, bro. Religion already did that. Religion means to bind. Yeah. So religion already did that, brother. So. And denomination already did that. So denomination means.
At first, you were telling me about your purpose. Tell me the purpose again. Tell me about
to find out if a man like you would really give you that. My purpose is to really find if a man like you would really give your daughter to a grown man because God says so. That's my purpose.
No, I'm not gonna say so. I'm not gonna tell me that.
Well, what if he does?
Based off my understanding, not gonna happen. Based off my
bro, he already gave Rebecca. But bro, you can't say not gonna say so. He gave Rebecca to Isaac when she was 10.
Yeah, but instructions when give to Moses, him not give to you. You understand? Instructions when him give to.
Yeah, but if he did it already.
We are think about your response, and I respond before you even hear what me I say. Instruction when him give to King David, him not give you. Instruction when him give to Abraham, him not give you. Certain sacrifice when him tell Abraham to make, him not give to you. Why?
All right, so Mary was 13 or 14 when God got her pregnant. Is that okay with you?
Go on again.
Huh? Mary was 13 or 14 when God got her pregnant. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
So, what is wrong with that?
Just asking.
Okay, of course, God choose to do him one do. Who am I to question God? Yeah, yeah, because you know what? That son that she bore, which is Jesus, saved my life,
Wow.
saved me from hell and destruction.
Wow.
Beautiful thing,
Wow.
beautiful thing.
Paul Bogle did nothing.
Eh?
Paul Bogle did nothing for you.
But Paul Bogle did that try to. But Paul Bogle was successful.
Sam Sharp did nothing for you.
Was he successful?
Marcus Garvey did nothing for you.
In worse, let us not even talk about Marcus Garvey, because we rate Marcus Garvey and we teach Marcus Garvey, but to be honest with you, Marcus Garvey was a failure.
Martin Luther King did nothing for you.
Sorry about that phone ring. Marcus Garvey was a failure.
Martin Luther King did nothing for you.
Partially. But Martin Luther King also failed. You know why Martin Luther King failed? Martin Luther King did not have anyone to carry on the legacy. Isn't that a failure?
Harriet Tubman did nothing for you.
If you achieve something great, shouldn't you have a success?
Harriet Tubman did nothing for you.
If you achieve something...
Harriet Tubman did nothing for you, right?
Who?
Harriet Tubman.
Out of them all, you don't reach Jesus yet. Because I am way at
so Jesus came and... So what Jesus did for you out of slavery? What Jesus did for you to free you from the slave masters then? What he did for you?
I am free.
How? How did you get freedom from your slave masters?
I am free.
How? How did you get freedom?
You don't think I am free?
How did you get your freedom?
You wait. You don't think I am free? Tell me.
Now I'm asking you, how did you get your freedom from the slave masters? Robert.
Yeah, bro.
You're on speaker, bro. Want me to take him off?
No problem, bro.
Okay.
Real quick. Yo, you see Kenya locked up the Jesus, right?
Kenya, yo, bro, they lock up Jesus in Kenya.
Yeah, and they deported him.
Oh shit.
So yeah. I will send you the link right now.
Yeah, but bro, that's a ploy. In 1,000 years, they would say they prosecuted him when he came again. Yeah.
And the pastor who was on the stage with him, he's locked up too.
I saw him back.
What?
Yo, them lock up Jesus, brother.
I know Jesus that, man.
Anyway, how you know that?
Okay,
How you know that?
so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link, you see, to the person we may talk about. We're not going to make a meeting yet.
Please.
I'm going to send you a link. I want you to listen to
No. I don't want a link from him then. I don't want a link from him. I want to meet him.
Oh, no. Let me tell you something. If you meet that man there, your life, if you do the wrong thing, your life, or say the wrong thing in front of this man, your life will cut short. So I'm not going to do that to you. And a serious thing me I talk about.
Please. Bro. Trust me. I would love to meet him.
If you meet,
trust me.
Let me tell you, listen to me, I say carefully. If you meet this, I give you
$200. I give you $200, bro. I give you $200. You can buy a drink.
You must think I'm hungry man you talk to. Hear me, I say. If you meet this man,
no, I'm not saying it that manner. I mean, I'm giving you a gift of appreciation.
No, listen to me, I say carefully. If you meet this man, because we're talking about a prophet of God, we're talking about a man that hear from God.
No, that's what I'm telling you. I want to meet him, bro.
No, listen to me, I say, no, man. is not a fake prophet where you hear them talk about. I'm telling you, if you meet this man,
Bro,
just
listen up, listen up, man. No. Me no want you shield me. I tell you, me no want you shield me.
So you want to die?
Because if it's student, me can't dead. If a student is here telling us that you will give your daughter to a man if God says it, then we want to meet him. If a student is here saying that if him tell you to kill your daughter, you will kill. A student is here telling us that you will kill your daughter on his command. If he says God say, I want to meet him.
Listen, me, I say.
I definitely want to meet him, bro.
You messing up? If you meet
bro,
this
stop
man,
saying if you.
You need to hear what me I say,
I'll book my flight. I'll book my own ticket to come to Edmonton. Hello?
You hear me I say? Just listen what I say. Can you listen?
Yeah, I just received a missed call from this number. It's Clifford. Yes, it is. I'm good. Who is it? Who is this? Okay, yeah. I'm still there. Can I call you right back? All right, thanks, bro. Yeah. All right, bro. I wish your daughter luck, man. I can't wish you luck. I wish your daughter luck, man. And your family, all right?
If you meet this person and you say the wrong things, you behave the wrong way, your life will cut short. I can't.
What is his name? What is his name?
I'm
What is his
tell
name?
you personal text. Not send you a text. Because I'm not going to advertise it to everybody.
Can you tell us his name? Can you tell us his name?
So I'm send you
Can you tell us his name?
No, I'm not going to say his name here. I'm not going to say his name here. Because I don't want anybody to feel like say is a regular person we are dealing with.
All right. Since me don't know his name, but you know what me talk about. Let me say something bad about him, then I make him make something happen to me. Your pastor is a damn idiot. Something happened to me.
We don't talk, B.
Your pastor is a damn idiot.
We don't talk.
He's a cult leader, and he is a fake preacher, and he is a false prophet, and he's an idiot. So now, me say it now. What happened?
You master.
If I drop down tomorrow, him do it.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Or may I start reason, right?
No, me don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how you would give your daughter as a sacrifice if pastor tell you to do it. That I want to talk about. You don't love your daughter, brother. It's sad. You don't love your daughter, my youth.
Vegas, you confuse you.
For real. 100%. You know why? You know why I'm confused?
Why?
The fact that me and you as two brothers right now, a reason.
Yeah.
And you would have really let your pastor tell you to sacrifice your daughter and you do it. That confuse the fuck out of me. Trust me. That really confusing, bro. So you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah, but a man can't still believe when one believe. I don't know nothing that. Say
yeah, but for you to believe that for you to believe in your pastor so much and your God so much that you would have sacrificed your daughter, brother, that's confusing. That is confusing, bro.
Confusing to you. And that's okay. That is okay. That's why we are two different individuals. That's okay. I never said nothing wrong with that.
All right, bro.
Because guess what? Because you believe what
bro.
you believe. I'm going to try to reach out to you because I'm not fight you. I'm not fight you, you know.
The sad thing is, let me tell you the sad thing is with many of you Christians. Y'all think that I am the one worth saving. You're not the one who needs help. Who need help.
No, man.
I am the one who who is in need of help, and you are the sensible one, you are the sane one, you are the one who does not need psychological evaluation.
Slow down.
You are the one who is correct. I am the idiot.
Slow down.
But you are the one who is saying that you would let a pastor tell you to kill your daughter, and I'm the one who is sick.
Slow down. Remember all the things I'm tell you, say, my pastor help me with. Remember all the things I'm tell you, say, teach me. Of course I need help. I don't claim to know it all. Of course I need help. And I'm getting the
Give
help.
thanks to the reason. Give thanks, bro. Give thanks to the reason. At least you open my eyes more to let us know that there are cults out there that can be that cult organization out there that's still leading people astray, bro. This is not easy, bro.
Okay.
Big up yourself.
Big up, man.
Sapphire, what is Shariah? Shariah that? Shariah Williams in Vegas, you making up lies. Sister, if you're gonna say I'm making up lies, you have to show me where I'm making up lies, sister. You can't just put out that word, those words, and then you don't have nothing to back it up. You see what I'm saying? And you want me to cut off the man, but you're just as naive as the man you want me to cut off. So why you want me to cut him off? You believe the same thing that he believes. Give thanks to the reason, sister. Wagwan.
What's up?
You need a headphone. I'm hearing you.
I have headphones.
Okay.
All right. So I don't even know where to start after hearing all of that. I honestly don't know. I had something to say, and I don't want to be ignorant. But my God, you're lost. You lost.
Yep.
And your title is Why Are Women Afraid? He's not a woman, you know. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Is that Obia man him send you go? He's sending you to another lost brother, Nigerian.
No. The Nigerian brother no lost. The Nigerian brother found some idiot. You have to just say it as it is. The Nigerian found some idiots when they can take on idiot and take money from them. I want to see him. I give him 1 ears back.
Man, my head. He said he was sacrificing daughter.
He's not him alone. He's not alone, sister.
No.
He's not alone.
No, he's
not. He's not alone.
He's not. It's just an eye-opener to...
Exactly, sister. Exactly.
I mean...
And now you see why many of us could not stay among these people, because it's like if you stay among these people and really, really subscribe to what they subscribe to, you're just coming like you come like if we never leave church, you know, we'd have mad, you know. Because we couldn't process this. It's like you can't digest certain food.
Yes.
We could not process this thing, sister.
I'm at a loss for words. I honestly am at a loss for words. I am okay, so my last name, if you see my last name, you know me already. We see each other how much times already, but my last name is Israelian. My family grew up as Jews. Okay? We grew up as Jews. So that was kind of like, you know, passed down. But then you go to Christianity, then you go to Catholic. I went to Nigeria, I went to Africa. When you go to places like this and you see a bunch of black people, you see one set here, you see one set there, you see a next set, that's when you see the division. That's when you see that how we were divided. And that's when you see the truth. Forget about what you heard, what you read. You need to see it.
Facts.
You need to see it. Forget about reading Google. Forget about what you want to investigate and all these things you want to pick. Go look for yourself. Go see for yourself. There is division everywhere, and it's disgusting. Everybody is a one people. Everybody is one. How you have so much God and one devil?
One devil and so much different God.
People don't think.
Good question. And all of them born out the same devil.
I'm confused. I'm not confused. I'm not confused. Really not confused. But I am I'm at a loss for words for people's ignorance and how
But you know
they.
what's sad?
Mhm.
That man thinks that me need help.
You can
And
imagine
that is
this.
about.
You can imagine this. You can
The
imagine
man
something
thinks
like
that me
this.
need help.
And he's raising children. He's raising children. He had the nerve
You
to
know what?
ask you. He had the
You know
nerve
what
to
hurt
ask
me
you
the
if you
most?
grow with a father. Look at the father. He ain't picked them and grow
Hold
with.
on, man.
Mm?
You know what lick me in my, you know what lick a nerves the way?
Mm.
The man have him daughter around him neck and tender sacrifice her.
Right
You are
there.
the wickedest. Listen, my sister. From me and walk that earth, yeah, are the wickedest thing me ever
Oh
hear.
my
Out that
God.
man mouth.
Right, and daughter right there.
The man have
Huh?
him daughter.
Huh?
And me ask the man if him that kill him daughter if the pastor tell him to the man
I
say no.
say, yeah.
No, that the wickedest thing me ever hear in my life. Remember me tell the man. You see from me hear that? Me know say no help no
Yeah,
people that
yeah,
come.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
you listen me.
It's
It come make
it's
more time I feel like a waste while I waste all my time.
and then him saying he's a free man. Where? How? You know, it's the same last. Look how much place him name same day. Him still a search for himself.
No, but I'm pastor telling about God. So from the man of a pastor telling about God, me don't know how him gonna tell me about God. But
But
the man
but
there, the
but
man there,
not only that. Him never have no father. Him never grow with no father. Him need somebody to teach him all of these things. You ask him if the pastor teach him how to have sex. Oh, we don't talk about sex in church. So what happened to being fruitful and multiplying? You don't talk about that.
no. I'm saying pastor tell him how to run in marriage.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, big
Okay.
up yourself, sister. We just have to go and hold the faith, man. Them people are gone. Big up yourself.
Later.
Love you. Yeah,
I
man.
love you.
Now the woman, she Haraya Williams. People don't even bother pay her no mind, man. Me see her go on her Facebook, you see the type of person we are dealing with. She not really serious about the thing, man. She just want to get me attention. I want to look at the girl that try to get me attention, people. She don't know, so me I deal with righteousness, right now. Me not time for address her right now. I want to look at the people, she try to get me attention. Don't worry about her, man. I want to look at the. The man that makes you distract, man. The bigger issue we have is a man who has him that sacrifice him daughter. See her? I want to look at the cherry. See it? And that's a distraction, people. Ati cherry. No matter watch ati cherry, man. You pray? We don't need to put on ati cherry, man. Ati cherry for just calm down, man. She just try to get me attention, man. The school, man. You don't know, say ati cherry, man. She just see me, I'm good looking, and she just like me, man. What go on, my general?
What about Mr.
Yo,
Vegas? Big up yourself,
you,
brother.
you hear all of that a while ago?
Yeah, man, and it's very disturbing. But at the same time, the sad part of it is this, right? You have millions of people like him out there. That's the sad part.
Yep,
You get what I'm saying,
yep,
brother?
yep,
And it all goes back to the mind.
yep,
You get what I say? They always say the mind is a powerful thing.
yep.
You have 7 universal laws, and the first one is the laws of mentalism. You are what you think. What you think becomes. In the so-called Bible, it says, so a man
So
thinketh,
it's
so
easy.
is he.
Yeah.
You get what I say? The mind is a powerful thing, and the thing is this now. His mind, you get what I say? He's not that free in his head to say, well, I can think for myself, or know right from wrong. He needs someone to tell him what is right and what is wrong. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. A typical woman that. You get what I say? So this man now, right?
No. Go
His
on
brain
talk,
is
man.
so confused.
Go on. Sorry, go on talk, brother. But
Yeah.
just show the people them when. Just show people that say sometimes she dark and sometimes she white. Me just go on talk.
Gotcha. So you have 2 sides. All right, yeah, as me I said, Mr. Vegas, right? You see, the mind is a powerful thing. And, it said, believe in kill, believe in cure.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of us, like even during slavery, the slave masters were never fearful of the women. They were always fearful of the men because most of the men were rebellious.
Right.
However, they realized that women in general are very receptive. They have a soft side, so to speak, because that's women. That's a feminine principle. The feminine principle means that we are very receptive. So the women are more receptive to certain things than men. Back in the days of slavery or captivity, when they were trafficking us and whatever, the men were very rebellious, but they realized that, listen this, I'm not afraid of the men, because guess what? The women will have the children and they'll take them to church with them. And guess what? The kids will grow up believing in what we want them to believe. So this generation of men, they can always rebel and, you know, create a war and whatever. But the kids will always become who you want them to be, because guess what? Their parents, which is the woman, will always determine how they think and what they do. That's why they said children are a product of their environment. You get what I'm saying, brother?
True.
So the truth is this now. If you ask most of the Christians, even that crazy guy a while ago, if you ask him to say, yo, was your mama Christian? Like 99% chance she was. Was your dad a Christian? Chance is not. So what you realize, a lot of us like accept this dogma because our mother was like that. So the female principle is more receptive to all of this. So that's why they always targeted the woman, because men are very rebellious in nature. In the churches today, Mr. Vegas, it's like 80% women, 20% men. Because men are not receptive to all the BS that is being taught. A lot of us are waking up like the universe is talking to us like, listen, we should let go of this garbage too long, no more. But the women are very receptive, so they hold on to it. You get what I'm saying? So for someone like him to come and say that he would sacrifice his daughter, it's sad. But there are millions out there like that. So back to the topic where you say why women...
You know what?
Yes.
You know what, bro?
Yes.
He's not just saying it, bro. He means that shit.
I know, but it's the mind. Listen, religion.
Yo, the man mean it, star.
Yes, because his mind is controlled. His mind is controlled. His mind is controlled. He's brainwashed. And that's what religion has done for years. Is to control the minds. If I control your mind, Mr. Vegas, I control how you think. If I control how you think, I control everything you do. All I need to do is control your mind, and everything else is mine. You get what I'm saying? So that's the sad part. We have allowed ourselves to be brainwashed and controlled mentally. You get what I'm saying? Because remember, even the scriptures say, even the scriptures say, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Meaning that mentally you will be free when you know the truth. And people are coming here and telling you what they believe. Oh, I believe this, I believe that. Come with what you know.
Wow.
Come with the facts.
You know, it's a big argument that, bro. Bro, you know, it's a big argument that. Because the Bible never says you shall believe the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth.
Say no, because guess what? And it said it will make you free. The only verse in the Bible that speaks about freedom is knowledge. It says no, and you will be free. There is nowhere else in the Bible where it says you can be free by this or that or by accepting Tom, Dick, or Harry. The only way you can be free is by knowing the truth or knowledge. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
and you have people here saying, I believe and I think and I assume. It doesn't work like that, bro. You get what I'm saying? That's the only verse in the Bible that tells you how to be free. It doesn't say accept Jesus and be free.
No, watch again, no. But watch again, no. It says my people suffer because of a lack of knowledge.
Knowledge, because your freedom comes with knowledge. Without knowledge, you cannot be free, Mr. Vegas.
Knowledge,
you cannot believe and be free.
Knowledge, you know, is just knowing where the ledge is, you know. And these people don't believe.
All right. That's right. But the truth is, right, knowledge comes from the word gnosis, which means to know. You get what I'm saying, brother? So what it is saying is that, in other words, knowledge is knowledge of self. You get what I say? Knowledge is knowledge of self. And knowledge of the universe.
Right.
So you must know. You have to know. That's the only way that freedom comes, which is knowledge. And freedom is mental. Nothing else. Because with some people, you take the chains off them hands and them feet, but they are still slaves. Why are they still slaves? Mentally, they are still, chained. They are still bound mentally. So freedom comes with knowledge, and it comes from the mind.
So the Bible,
freedom has to be mental.
So the Bible tell them say, they shall know the truth, and them still believe.
That's right. That's why most Christians, listen, 99% of the Christians, they do not adhere to the Bible. You know what they adhere to? Their pastors and their theologians. Okay? That's who them listen and follow. Them not follow the Bible, Mr. Vegas. Them follow them pastors and theologians.
Brother, shake your hand right now.
No, but the Bible said, listen to that. The first commandment, we're not talking about 10. The first commandment is, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else shall be added unto you. In other words, seek knowledge of self, because the kingdom of heaven is within you. Luke 17 verse 21 explicitly says that. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not the east, west, north, or south, or in a building. It's within you. So seek knowledge first, and everything else shall come. So the fact of the matter is this now. We are listening to pastors and theologians who go in some theologian cemetery/seminary, okay, to learn about the science of death, which is called like Christianity. You get what I'm saying? These are the people we are listening to. Jesus spoke about what? Let's talk about, hypothetically speaking, Jesus. Because there was no such person that existed, walked this earth. All the names, the prophets in the Bible, you can't find a grave or a bone to say them exist. None of them. No pastor can show you a grave site or a bone to say, yo, see Abraham or Isaac there, then grave site. None of them, because they never existed, and that's a fact. That's not a belief. That's a fact, brother. You get what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah, we know that.
That's a fact. Ask any one of them. Like, show me a grave site or a bone of any one of them we mentioned in the Bible. And then we'll start mumble for you. You get what I'm saying?
No, because it is matter?
All. Of course it does matter, because we're talking about like facts. You're talking about not what you believe in or what you accept. We're talking about what is and what is factual. You get what I'm saying, brother?
Exactly, bro.
So the truth is the only freedom we can have is knowledge. And knowledge means of the mind, to be free. And the sad part is this: most women are receptive than men. Men are rebellious. That's why the church, let me tell you, Mr. Vegas, it's dying today. It's dying. People are run out. People are run.
Brother, you break up the while. You break up the while. Say back where you just say a while ago.
No, I'm saying today, right? The church is dying. People are leaving the church. A lot of people are waking up. People are abandoning it because they realize that it's just a corporation that takes money and tells them to give you 10%. So a lot of people are leaving it. But there are still a lot of people in it who are still brainwashed and being controlled, because guess what? They know the power of the mind. That's one of the most important things the Catholic Church practice. Mind control. Through fear. Instill fear in you. You're a sinner. You're born.
Bro, you freeze up bad, bro.
Yeah, hear me now?
Bro, you freeze up bad. You think you have to freeze up. It a freeze up.
Yeah, hear me now?
Bro. Give thanks to your reasoning. Give thanks to your reason. When you have some better Wi-Fi, we want to bring you on. Yes, when you have some balance Wi-Fi, we want to bring you on and make you get them a real talk, bro. See? Because we have missed key information when you have freeze up.
Yeah, that's right. All right, brother.
Big up, brother.
Say a word. Take it easy.
No, people, we have got, and him always depend on the program in the people, Imhotep. Why we bring him on? We can't bring on them wise people when we don't talk to. When we don't talk to mad people. If we bring on them man, you give them our people. Trust me. But what he's saying, people might leave the church in that droves. Trust me. Right now, I go church last time I go church, empty on New Year's night. Let me tell you what happened to the church now. The year 2000, when them they said Jesus are going to come, every church you go ram. Be a people, people from all boat gone to church. All people will never go to church. Man, I left bar gone to church. Seeing them say Jesus are going to come. When you look over Sting, when you look out Sting, when you look over out of the New Year's Eve show with them now man keep empty. Everybody gone to church. You see when the people them realize that Jesus nobody come, the people then get worse. Trust me. The people then get worse. The people then say, right, it's a lie. Everybody start turn back from church. Everybody start turn back. Biggest mistake they make, they say Jesus come in 2000. And when Jesus nobody come, the people them say, hey, me go to church. Me go one church off Half a Tree Road. And me reach late. If Jesus did not come, me don't get shagged. Because me reach late, people. When me reach, church full. You see me look out the door, be a fish. All the fish them come out. They go to heaven. I swear upon everything on my own. Yeah, man. You want to see me turn up out that door, I get a peek in a church, I be a fish around me. I'm going to tell you, you want to see me out there? Be a fish. I look so. Be a fish. If a pool never come down right there, man, you see people swim around in that backside. Remember me to be a dolphin. Be a dolphin and piranha out of that backside, ready to go to heaven with Jesus. What? Them couldn't find space in the church to put people. 2000 they said Jesus will come. Remember clearly. If Jesus said if a bother come, you see all me gone to hell with the dolphin them. You go see me and the dolphin them and swim go to hell. Me and the dolphin them gone to hell. Because I'm late for church. I'm go late. You see when the dolphin them, you know. Because I go late, you know, so I don't get to go inside that church. You see when the clock count down on your ear, 9, 8, and you hear the whole church and say, hallelujah, hallelujah, Jesus, hallelujah, hallelujah. And the clock count down on your ear, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yo, some read that spirit getting and some people are going one bag of things. You see about 5 minutes past 12. Me just see the fish then start swim way. Me look so me just see fish them go back in the ocean. Gone left church. I said, Lord God, Jesus nobody come. Then gone. And nobody stay again. They cut. That's a trick. The fish then gone back in the gully. And the fish them in the gully. What of them come out? Cause church up on Half a Tree Road and the fish them in the gully they over there so. What of the fish them come out the gully? Say them now go to hell. If Jesus would ever come, you'd hear, hey, Jesus, hey. Hey. Sorry if you eat and talk too, no. Hey, Jesus, hey. We out. No. Back to your reasoning. Let me lose that. I'm going to eat me.
Greetings from England.
Hey, brother, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm a good man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that guy was crazy. I hit people with that question whether they'll sacrifice their children, like Abraham was instructed and the rest. I think it's a misreading, though. A lot of people are picking up books in a language they don't understand, and they aren't willing to pick up a dictionary. or an etymological
True.
book that will break down the words.
True.
From my perspective, a lot of this book and the names that are inside of it tell you something. The names actually mean go in line with the story. And every action inside of this book, everyone's lived through it. Like people walk on water. They may not remember it, but how did they travel from their father to their mother's womb? See, it says Moses parted the Red Sea. Everyone knows what a menstrual cycle is. But I don't want to keep going over every single story, but literally every story is a growth principle. I feel this book is like a guidebook for people.
You know what, bro? You know what? You have to make this. You have to make these points, bro. Trust me. I wanted to speak about why women worship God, but hit them, bro. Hit them.
I already put a little joke there, though. It wasn't a joke. I was talking about the Trinity.
When you're feeding babies, you have to go for the spoon. You have to use spoon, bro.
I'm going to use a spoon. It's a big spoon. I'm going to feed everyone a dose of what they've already seen. See,
let's go, bro.
Inside my mother and father's house, you know,
right.
I don't know if they had the discussion where they said, let us make me in their likeness and image, but they definitely made me in their likeness and image. So the understanding was they had that agreement. So I'm my parents in one body, the body that can never be broken and divorced. That's their vows. When you marry, you consummate the marriage. You give the marriage purpose by having a child. The impregnation is supposed to happen on that night. A lot of people forget these principles. And then they start talking about what a marriage is and saying they can divorce. I can never divorce myself. And I've had both of them in my ears since I was a youth, telling me what to do. When I reach the stage of responsibility, I become a God of myself. There's nowhere I can kill anybody and they're going to arrest God. They're going to say, I did it. Jesus says that, I don't even want to really quote it like that, but he says, is it not written in your laws, in your own laws, that I'm God? In the UK today, I'm responsible for my own actions at the age I've reached. That's them telling me I'm responsible for myself. If my children do something, which I don't have any children, they'll say I'm responsible for my children because I'm the carer, or they'll take them away from me. It's like, it's the way that people look at this book. That's the problem. And a lot of people are claiming to have an understanding. So what I was going to say is, like, just to cover it about the garden, the Genesis part, it's very clear that these two were interacting with themselves when they were naked. There's no mention of them having intercourse or anything like that, other than the fact they were caught naked, but then they have children. See, my mum was very, you know, my parents separated at a young age, but my mum was very adamant, I don't bring women into the house. If she caught me playing, she'd kick me out. That looks like the same thing that happened inside this book. Two people who were told that if they engage in something, that the day they do it, they would die. They would no longer live to satisfy themselves. That's how I'm taking it. Meaning now they have to provide for someone else. And a lot of parents talk about raising their children like it's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of death for them. So I'm just taking it literally exactly how it is. But when some people pick up this book, they get lost in it. I say some people call it Bible, but the original name that they were saying it is Ghost Spell. Like literally Ghost Spell. Like reading was important. This is the thing they deprive black people of. An inability to read, because they wouldn't lie to read. They'd kill people who can read. They don't want you doing sign language or any communication. It means that you're easy to dictate to. That's the stage we come at in when we're born. An inability to read or perceive signs and symbols that aren't natural. And everything else we're willing to explore. No one teaches us how to suck a breast. No one teaches us who to be shy away from. You see a child, even when you're greeting a parent that you've known for years, the child will still hide behind the parent's leg. It don't want to know you. That's every creature. So I don't know for that man. Like do you know what? Some people have found help where they could find help. And for them, it becomes awkward for them to stand up to that help. It's like parents, for example, they do a lot and they will tell you they've done a lot for you. For that reason, you should serve them. That man was praising his pastor. Maybe his pastor helped him out financially, pay some bills, whatever, you know, and for that reason, he feels like he has to give that loyalty. No different from a friend. But when you ask him the question whether you sacrifice his daughter, I think you even asked him again, would he kill his daughter? And that man said, yes, or kill, don't mean sacrifice, like give her up for something else, send her to a boarding school so she has to learn how to be like people you're not in order for her to be better in life. That's a sacrifice in itself. You're no longer getting that time in interaction. But just to cover the point, everyone's Jesus to their mother and father. You are their eternal life. Some people are barren. And when you read this book, you see so many people that were praying for kids. Someone mentioned Abraham. His name was changed to Abraham. It means father of the womb. Rahim in Arabic, actually, literally, and in Hebrew, means womb. My dad was the father of the womb. He's my dad. He's the father of whatever was in my mom's stomach. He's the father of the womb, and out of me should come children. But it's like, I don't know, people haven't even been literal yet before start putting their heads in the clouds. They haven't even been literal. There's a word that they is associated with this historically with Christians, how they had to draw symbols because they were scared to speak that they were Christians because they were being persecuted.
Hold on 1 second, bro. Hold on 1 second, bro.
Right.
Sheharaya. Sheraya. What's your name? Sheharaya Williams. Let me tell you something what happened to we black people. We don't like to learn, you know. You're up on the page, when you come on the page, you just go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, I watch you, you just comment, right? You see the brother come on and the brother try to educate we. You know, just build a little bit and listen a little bit, sister. Try to learn something, sister. Here the man even tell about the Red Sea and the womb and what Abraham's right name is and the name represent the womb. Learn something to them, sister. I want you, man. Stop being a sad black woman, man.
Do you know you can tell a problem? She's defending the Bible, and I'm not bashing it. So
yeah,
all I'll say,
but bro, even if you defend Bible, at least you can learn something. Because
she hasn't read it.
Bible, Abraham, the word Abraham and Red Sea in the Bible, you can't even go back and go reread it and say, yo, let me try to connect what the brother was saying. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes, yo, let me tell you something about some of the woman. Some of the woman just walk on the mouth and write something, and the man just knows something no sense, you know. So if I'm little man to take a serious, you know, the man that he want to take a serious, you know, because the man has a shallow.
It's a problem. She will raise children the way she wants to as well.
You know, and you have your hot nails them, and you have your little pretty face now and all of these things, and your false ear on and all of these things. They might think that the world will bow down to you now. But let me tell you something, sister. Yes, when a woman open her mouth, a man can't tell who she is, you know. Don't be shallow, man. Just learn something to them, man, and stop going like your mascot, sister. Learn something to them, man. The man that teach you something important, you see me even cancel when me did that talk about it and learn from him too. And you can do the same. Bill, man. You just a comment. Everything we see, just a comment. Just listen up. Listen. For that, my general.
For many, what it is, we know this. There's a certain point you reach in your life through criticisms that you just turn a deaf ear. And that's not a bad thing that she's doing. But
bro,
in her doing it...
Don't get distracted, bro.
No, in her doing it, I want to point this out. In her doing it, she's saying she's God of herself. And that's no different from what you want the message to be. She's responsible for her own actions. But she can damn her children by doing that. Because they limit your growth. When your children grow outside of what you understand, you're no longer their teacher. Then what they have to apply can no longer fit in your household. They go elsewhere. And this is what happens in general terms with Africa. The greatest minds are extracted. They go and work for foreigners. There is no place for them to be at their home. And this is where they say in the Bible, Jesus could not be a prophet in his own home. They didn't respect him or value him, but that's where he had to go elsewhere and find his place. You know, all our resources and our greatest resources are life. And I wanted to point this out, like there's chapters throughout the book when I was talking about the importance of being able to procreate. Some people can't. Their genetic inferiority causes them problems when it comes to the point of replication. This is one of the reasons that he went and took black people from Africa. We are fertile continuously. I can give you so many examples of it. It's all on my wall, but I can give you some of the dumbest examples. Like fertile soil is black. It's what they call volcanic ash. It's very dark and contains lots of minerals in a potent form which plants can easily extract the nutrients out of. It's basically been heated up and broken down like cooked food, softens and becomes more palatable. So volcanic ash has ready nutrients and it's our color. Solar panels are not white. That's solar energy. See, brown skin, melanin in the eyes. A lot of people in the West Indies, when they start to get bad eyesight, you'll start to notice colored rings around their eyes. The melanin is receding. It's no longer being produced. Melanin in our hair, gray hair starts to form. That's when no more melanin's there. And this is important for conduction of electricity, which we use to just move our hands around. That's our nervous system, as well as the lymphatic system and our blood circulation. But the book talks about science. Like I personally have a feeling that the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, were people who went to school and were trying to articulate it for their people. So this is where the language splits. We've just been caught underneath it. But for the life of me, Vegas, like you, I cannot understand the level of ignorance where you can get a man who knows how long he's been suffering for someone to have made life easy for him. And he now is in that position to do that for his daughter and will tell you to kill his daughter because some fairy tale reached his head. I'm baffled. You know, he probably would misquote this verse. It's in John, where he would say, he'd probably ramble and say, God sent Jesus to die for the sins of man. That's not what it says in the book. And I personally am so tired of hearing people misquote it. Because what it says is that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but gain eternal life. And a lot of people don't have belief in their children. They have belief in their masters, but not their children. So they'll never ever fully commit to their children's benefit of uplifting them. It says that the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is Christ. Your children are supposed to be uplifted. You look at the ancient Egyptians, they put a cup, a big circular symbol, they say it's the sun disk. But that's the first blood cell that starts to form inside of the womb. Child literally sitting on top of the head. You see, Aset has a throne on her head. The child is supposed to sit on it. You see, Africans, they put the child to sit on their back. But it was literally every thought is, how can I do for my child? How can I provide for my child? That's where your life is taken. As far as the biblical term, your life ends when you make that decision to have children, because they become your priority. Everything is for them now. But I don't think a lot of these people have grown up at all. Else literally, they would see the common sense of their own life and be able to say, I get this. Look at Jesus crucified on the cross. You literally and they literally do things that kill their children. Not just sacrificing them, but just put them in circumstances where they don't have no belief in the children. Children are getting molested and too scared to tell their parents that the pastor's touching them, the teacher's touching them. We literally give our children to other people to teach them how to be useful to us. And it's not the case. Wow. They make them useful to their industry. They make them useful to their economy. And this is the problem we're having. Then other people come, even some of our own come back and they want to rape the resources from our country and take the piss out of people. Like I can see the seriousness with which you're trying to approach it with people, but the problem is a lot of the people you're talking to can't read. They won't ever tell you that. They literally can't read. I was in St. Lucia and I had the Bible and I was just trying to show people names, and the internet's a new thing there, but even just reading the basic English sentences, a lot of them can't read. And it's that big a problem. If you tell them leave the book alone, they won't want to leave it alone, but they can't read. So they go and sit in front of the pastor. The pastor gets to tell them great stories about how he used to be a thief but was saved because no one bust his head open when he stole from them. He doesn't say that bit. He just says God forgave him. But it's not the people that he stole from that forgave him. You see? So this word God and other people becomes interchangeable, but it literally is what he's saying, but no one ever piecing together the sense. My mum used to give me a threat like, I made you, I'll take you out of here. You know? That stuff rang in my ears so much so I was confronted her. Are you saying you're God? She used to shy away from that. But that message rang in my ears so much when I start reading this book and reading the names and start understanding it. I'll put a comment like, you know, when people say the name Jesus, some people will say in the Hebrew language there's no J's. It's in Psalms. It gives you the whole alphabet from Alif to Yod. Hebrew alphabet is there. You can check it for yourself. If you've got a Bible, you can literally check the alphabet. Alif to Yod, there's no J pronounced in sound. It's amazing how people get stuck on the Jesus name, but everyone forgets Emmanuel. That's what an angel was told to tell the mother she should call the child. Emmanuel, God with us. God with us. You got Jesus. Add one I inside of that word, you got J-Sweet, I am. I am. My parents are telling like that's the importance you should link with your family. Literally, it is a triad. Mum, dad, child. Mum, dad, child. In every creature, there is a trinity. 2 trees in the garden, you mentioned. One was a tree of knowledge of good and evil. The other was a tree of life. Tree of life sounds like a family tree to me. Some people do things so bad that their families don't want to interact with them no more. Throughout the Bible, it keeps repeating about someone who has a fertile line and those who don't. When I was talking about the fertility in black people, we literally have more minerals in our composition. You should know this because we can take bleach and start removing our hair color. We're removing elements, some sort of substance, and it will start making our hair flank like Europeans. We can bleach our skin. It becomes transparent like Europeans. That means we're removing something. You bleach a material if it's stained and it removes the stain. You're not adding to it. I will literally tell you what I'm talking about, a genetic superiority. I'm not even trying to be funny with it. It's all throughout their book. Moses was instructed to marry an Ethiopian woman because he was considered weak. He was called meek by God. His sister started talking crap about, God didn't tell you that. If God said it, we should all see it. And God cursed her with pale skin.
Yeah.
Her skin was made white as snow. This is Numbers chapter 12, verse 1 to 10. Because I notice when we're saying it, some people, they don't know the Bible. They don't know where to look.
God gave her leprosy.
He gave her leprosy and it turned her skin white like snow. And he does this a few times inside of this book. Makes their skin recessive. Now, the joke is not even really a joke. It's just, I can understand why the bamboozle's still going on. The book isn't really for us. it's a reminder for them as to the purpose that they keep us around. Else they would really wipe us out if they could, Europeans. Go on a genetic level of just living in peace and breeding. They have a period where they're supposed to go. Genesis chapter 6 says this very clearly. Talks about the sons of God seeing daughters of men and picking wives of them, but God has established, I'm flesh also, God says. I am flesh, just like man. But the difference is your days will be short. And you can see Europeans today doing everything to prolong their existence.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, let's find that, because that's fly by the Christian them head, you know. Hold on, let's find that. Genesis 6, right?
Yeah, Genesis chapter 6. I'll go right here. The Muslims have the same thing anyway. They talk about jinns and make it seem bad, but the literature that came out around the same time of the Quran that they have,
right,
they talk about genies and all sorts in their stories. But in some of the clear books, they describe black men who were just massive and they couldn't understand why they were so big. But they depict them, they describe their hair perfectly, the skin color, and it's black men that they were imprisoning from Africa. I said genies, right? Someone who has great power but keeps asking for its freedom, doesn't want to grant anyone's wishes, is tired of doing other people's biddings. Who that sound like? That's a fairy tale story anyway. That's another one, but that's for the Quran anyway, where they talk about jinns. You on Genesis chapter 6, yeah?
Genesis 6, yeah. Yeah.
It goes, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. Men began to multiply, and daughters were born unto them. This is the King James Version, by the way. So this is Old English when they were just trying to craft the language. That the sons of God, this is capital G, sons, plural. So I don't want to hear anything about Jesus being only begotten. It says monogenes, one gene. That's the Greek version. One gene. So it's talking about a gene, genetics again. Yeah.
Yo, man, you're killing the Christian them today, bro.
Oh, I'm not trying. I'm not.
I
Do you know what
done
it is?
it better, bro.
I'll tell you this again
one more time. No, say that again one more time. Say that again one more time.
It says, this is verse 2, that the sons, plural, of God with a capital G. So there's not one God, one son of God. And just to point out again, this problem is happening. Let me just read it and maybe you'll see it. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, that they took them wives of which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his day shall be 120 years. I don't know if you know this, but what they say on average, the red blood cell recycles itself every 120 days. Funnily enough, that's science today. That's science today, and you got 120 years, but the number seems to match. It's like,
no, but remember, God said 1,000 years to us is one day for him.
One day to him, yeah. That's why they say, when they say silliness, like 7 days to create the earth. But I don't know.
Yes, sir. And then it's convenient for them to say, no, it's not just 7 days, you know, etc., etc. So what you just pointed out, bro, is deep. So like God is flesh.
It's life. Life is what we're talking about. Some people will die if they're not able to parasite off other people's backs. Some people literally will die off. And you can see it today. Look, one of the biggest industries amongst the European is farming of human life. He's collecting sperm, he's collecting eggs and offering to people who can't procreate. He even has surrogate mothers. This should stand out more than anything else. Everything he's doing is about extending their existence, not control, just existence. But they need the control in order for that to be the case. One of the biggest things is if I tell you how fertile you are as black men, why would they have to lock you down to one woman? That's their principle. I just told you, marriage, literally, marriage is the unification of man and woman. And that only happens in the child's body. That's the body of the child. The child becomes the church of that union. Literally, like, so when the people are talking about not having an understanding or they're saying they have a marriage, my mum's African, yeah? The man mentioned Nigerian pastor, so I was laughing earlier. My mum's Nigerian, yeah? Yeah, my dad's St. Lucian. To put out all my business on the internet, but if we're dealing with the spirit of truth, people don't want to be truthful no more. No one wants their business out there. I could tell you every truth about me because no one can fib to me about what their truth is. I'm living it all.
Bro, I have a daughter in St. Lucia, so you know that right now me and you is like straight family, bro. Yo, bro.
Always. Even with the brother that wasn't understanding.
Bro, you mentioned parasite, bro. I'm gonna be a parasite, bro. Trust me. I'll be like hounding you, bro. Yeah, you know the thing already, bro. You know me stay already, bro. So, bro, Give me back the thing now about the Red Sea, because you hit them and you drop them a little bit there. Give me back the Red Sea thing now.
All right, Moses means to be drawn from the waters. Yeah, he was literally said to be a baby that was pushed across the Nile, which the Nile is seen as life-giving waters. So life-giving waters, it mentions
river.
They meant in
the river.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. That's how they make you interpret it. But what they've mentioned throughout the Bible is the fountain of youth, life-giving waters. You don't know as a man what your life-giving water is?
Oh shit! So bro,
he was a fisher of man. They literally call it sea man. A fisher of men. You don't know your essence. That's the spirit that is in every creature that is here. The fact that they're here, you know they're procreating the same way. Man and woman must unify to give off offspring. A woman's water breaks forth for the child to give birth. And when the child is birthed in the correct orientation, they call that crowning. Crowned at birth with glory. Because you have life. Some people don't give birth to life. The children come out and the child is stillborn. This is the important thing. So all the complications that people have inside it, was there. Like,
yeah.
I could go on, man. I have so much.
No, keep going, bro. Keep going. You were.
It's like I've heard most of the arguments, but I can see stuff flicking. It's like when people say, for example, I think like literally the problem, and I'll just stress what the problem is people didn't take reading important. Everyone wants to talk, but they don't take reading important. And come from the household I come from, I was pressurized to read more than my parents. Now I hit them over the head with books. Like, Mom, you got to listen to this. Why are you doing that? Oh, leave me alone, I'm stressing. Like, even at the age I am, which is like in my 30s, I'm still always trying to provide information. But that's why I see where you're struggling with people. Once you're saying something that they can't understand, it becomes very difficult for you to penetrate somebody's head. They're stuck in their ways. They know the reason why they're that way. But the real truth of it is, they do it to survive. That man said he would kill his own daughter to survive. He wasn't thinking of longevity, of eternal life. He was just thinking of his immediate circumstance. He don't want to offend a God that would destroy him, so he'll destroy his daughter. Wow. That's how nuts he was. But he's not seeing that that's his new life. That's his new body. He don't see it that way. So he's selfish to that degree that he would actually say those things. That's no different from you saying you don't love your child on camera. I don't know how he even got caught up in that.
So he's just thinking about his immediate survival. Of
course. You're not thinking of the longevity. That's his seed. That's his life. That's with Team Him and the woman. That's the physical promise, the manifestation of the words that they exchange with each other. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Then if you go to Genesis from John, it says, "Let us." This is the conversation that's happening. So literally, it's saying words were exchanged in John. You go to Genesis, you can find the words exchanged. It says, "Let us make man in our likeness and image." That's not like man and woman discussing. A lot of people will say today that they don't understand where the woman is inside. It tells you numerous times, but no one want to accept it because they start asking stupid questions like, so are you saying God has a mum? Then who gave birth to them? I'm like, it's not a linear line, it's circular. One cycle of life. One cycle of life. It's a circular. They call it like a linear thing and misunderstand. But there's so many concepts where I personally, like I said, if people are reading a book and you see a word you don't know, I was always taught if you read a book and you don't know a word, you're supposed to have a dictionary right next to you.
Let me tell you what the problem is, bro. Let me tell you what the problem is.
Can't read.
Because in the midst of you spitting some real information, then the Europeans like Erasmus and these Europeans that were basically ordered to add some things to the book or to the canon scriptures, whatever it is. These people basically they added things to throw off people. So if you can't,
I won't agree.
You know,
I won't agree only because I told you already. So I'll ask you a question: does God have a religion?
No.
Who did I say you are? God. What are you doing with this book? This is meant for the European. That's why it's in his tongue. You see, we're so quick to want what's meant for them. They're the ones infertile. They need to be breeding with us. Like literally, it says it throughout this. They need to be breeding with us, so they need a reminder because they're generally wicked. They want to conquer everything. They've 2,000 years and they're forgetful. They want to wipe out black people. Today, you got a bunch of people wearing unks telling you, "I am eternal life." It's like the wake-up call. But right when the white man is dying and not populating, they just announced in America they're having a low birth rate. The birth rate is the lowest ever recorded in history.
To the point where it's a crime to have an abortion.
Thank you very much for adding that. I would have forgotten that, but I put it on my Facebook wall as well. To the point where they're making it legislation that they cannot abort kids, but they're still doing family planning in black communities. Just keep it simple. Not too complicated. Some people talking about it. Man said he's gonna live in heaven. I said, hold on a sec. Earth is a heavenly body floating in the heavens. You're already there. Like literally, you're already there. It tells you in the Bible that earth is God's footstool. My guy, you walk on the earth with your hands? He said the earth is God's footstool. The real major problem is that the planet's heating up. And if you know about anything about like stuff, principles like magnetism, when magnets are heated up, they lose their ability to attract other components to them. Literally, as the planet's heating up, this is causing the infertility amongst Europeans. They cannot manage heat well, but they're the ones causing it. And then we're trying to industrialize our country. So Jamaicans not happy unless they have big skyscrapers and they remove all the plants and stuff from the soil that keep the earth cool and have enough sense to manage all the interactions between this body in the heaven and all the other bodies, the stars, the planets, the sun. And that's the issue. Nature dictates that we should be farmers. That's why it says when Adam and Eve were pushed out the garden, they should till the soil. That was an instruction for Europeans. Like, learn how to till the soil and plant what's there. Look after the planet, it will look after you. And instead of them doing that, or maybe they didn't know how, they grabbed hold of farmers in it and forced them to do it. We call them slaves, but that's what they had, working the soil. We did all of that, putting things in order which makes sense for them. They say the Moors did it. They built the sewage systems for them. And we have all this information that we know, but literally it's just problem fertility. How am I going to be here tomorrow? That's all anyone asks for from God.
Teach us a little bit about the blood that was shed. What does that represent? The blood.
Huh?
The blood of the lamb, the blood that was shed, the blood that every black person think that Jesus came and gave his life to save them. You ever had a home cooked meal from your mom? Did she speak it like an Englishman and say she put blood, sweat, and tears into it? She put blood, sweat, and tears into raising you. She put all her essence into you. But literally, yeah. Mr. Vegas, you are your mother and father's blood, aren't you? Who are their mother and father's blood? Who are their mother and father's blood? They took a tree of life. I'll reword it for how you've heard it. Family tree. Nothing complicated there. They were removed from the garden so that they would not touch the tree of life. Because they had you know that makes so much sense because the two sperm cells, and blood make it, So your father, when your father ejaculated and shedding blood,
It's his cells. He's literally given his cell motion to be directed to unify with the mother's cell. Literally giving instruction for the cell to go and touch and commune to make the new life, to give a new body for you.
Oh shit.
That's
so
another.
You can now have now you can have everlasting life.
This is how if you go to funerals in this country, in England, I've been to a few funerals, like, I don't really like it, but what they say is, when they're looking at the dead person in the coffin, they say they are survived by, then they mention the children of the dead man or dead woman, then the children's children, then if there's any other children generation after that, they mention them, but they literally say you are survived by. There are rituals that they practice right in front of us that I just don't I personally feel people are blind. So literally what you're doing is trying to spit in their eye so they can see. You remember that miracle? You take spit and put it in the blind man's eye to help him see. You're spitting in the eye, trying to see if they can use any wise words or venom to show that they have sense. And the man is just, like the example, he just shut down. He's just like, you are lost. Just like, man, none of us are lost in that way. But my gosh, he said he would kill his child. I'm going to look his child in the face. You don't think some of us have lost common sense?
His child was on his back, bro. That's deep, bro. But I understand. You see, you should be a psychology teacher, bro. Right? You should just your duty, bro, is to just go around everywhere you can find people, especially black people, and just be their psychologist, bro. Because I was angry at the brother, and when you just said something, I'm no longer angry at him, right? Because you said something key. You said he was thinking about his immediate survival. Many of us, that's what happened. That's what's happening. We're thinking about we will stop talking to a family member. We will no longer speak to a friend. We will cut off our best friend. We will do anything because we are afraid of what God will do to us.
I wouldn't say, I think he's afraid of non-existence. He really can't understand the idea that he's been and has always been.
But he's naive, bro.
No, you know, he's forgetful. He's forgetful. They said Jesus, I'll give you an example. Perfect. They say Jesus died on the cross. When my daddy ejaculated into my mum, I didn't come with memories of my dad. I had to start again. And they're the ones who teach me how to do stuff in a way that pleases them. So if my dad teaches me how to fish, who am I fishing like? My father. They say Jesus said I came to carry on my father's works.
No. Say that again. Say that again.
I said, if my father teaches me how to fish, I'm
the ejaculation part. The ejaculation part.
I died on the cross. The crossing over, the memory's not attached. So that's the physical body being made anew. Literally, you're getting a new body, but then the mind, the consciousness must be given to you. And this is another reason why slavery was so effective. If you look at Europeans today, how they handle animals, they won't go and start fighting a grizzly bear for its young. They'll kill it and just take the cubs. Now that bear's got to wonder what its life is like, but then they will encourage that bear to ride a unicycle. The bear will be wearing a hat, riding a bike on a string rope, a lion jumping through hoops with fire, until it snaps like how we've snapped to say, life doesn't look like it needs to be so hard, so this can't be right.
Oh, shit.
And that's what's happening. Life is, people say life's a bitch. All these sayings to hit them, they're spells, literal spells. You spell these words and you cast them on people. You keep saying it enough times, we start, our brain tries to comfort us with these spells. Like, oh, life's a bitch for everybody, so I should just take it. But where do you see such complication anywhere? Why should it be so complicated? Where's the complication there? And it's being made for other people to be telling you they've worked hard enough not to have such complications on them. That's some bull crap. Literally some bull crap. Hey, look. There's the bull. Here's another word for you. I'll give you another word. Here's a joke. You got the Torah, you got the Bible, and you've got the Quran. Qur'an in Arabic, one letter change or one accent change on a letter means horns. Bible, you know what a bull is, isn't it? Mentioned golden calf here. And then you got Torah. Have you heard of the word Torah?
Mm-hmm.
That's Spanish for which animal?
The bull.
So why all of these phonetically, just a slight change, but all of these have spook stories about someone who's horned, and that's why you should believe in them.
You want me to give you something deeper? Baphomet. Horns.
None of it's evil. It's just the doctrine. I'll give you an
example. No, it's not.
It's not evil.
But it's what people
they portray it that way to push you into.
Exactly, bro.
I know that because my parents can't tell me anything evil. I've seen them get wicked on people for the protection of their family, and it's necessary. So I started saying a sentence, and I want to say it here. If you cannot say to yourself, or you don't think that your God must be a devil to devils, then you haven't understand. You're not calling on the right God. Parents shouldn't be scared to protect their children, even if it means life loss. But today, people are cowardly. But you don't see that. It's our people that are suffering that way. You were mentioned earlier about, the brother was mentioned earlier about women grooming their children to be more submissive. And it literally happens because they're rewarded. In European countries especially, single mothers are given aid, which is extra money, extra living allowance.
It was a brother who called earlier on. He was saying
that. He was saying it. And it's an important thing to recognize, like, all these things are in place. It's not, someone put sellouts, it's not even sellout. It is manipulation at a grand scale.
So let me ask you a question, bro. Isn't it something that isn't the fact that is we who are saying God gave his only son to die for us, right? And at the end of it all, when he called on God to save him, God did not save him. Is that a good example, or that's a good concept that we have?
It says, the statement people make is that Jesus took on all the sins and died because of it. But the Bible says, whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but gain eternal life. Not in the death or the crucifixion story, but there was a message that he had to give. And it was a clear one. And he says, ye are gods, all children of the Most High, yet you're dying like men because of the actions you do. It's repeated throughout the book. But it was just too hard. What? You're saying you're God? People didn't even hear. He said, we are like, so he had to take that stand on his own. And that's what they killed him for, because they refused to hear it. If you told that man he's God, who's he? And he's telling you he'll kill his child. So he's made himself God of life and death for his child. He's literally saying that, but then saying he's doing it to a greater God.
But the way how we are teaching it, it's a danger in the way we are teaching it, because we're basically teaching a language or a concept that is saying basically, you know what, you can turn your back on your children, and you're saying basically we should be dying to save our children.
Of course, many died for us to get here.
But we are adhering to a concept that is saying, yo, you know, my kid calling on me to save my kid, and I'm turning my back and be like, yo, you know, I'm making you a sacrifice, and I don't think we should be sacrificing our children.
I'm gonna use another word that, funnily enough, has an association with bulls. Coward. Again, it's the cowardness. It's being passed on. It's literally being well behaved is cowardness. I give you an example. Like, many times when people see children running around in the street, they say, "Don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself," and they're wishing the child will hurt himself so they can listen. But if it don't, that child could be like a stuntman in a movie. You see how people say about people hating the result of where they get to? It's literally that cowardness inside of other people that stops people from talking that way. Like I heard you when you said, all right, God should dead me now. He don't have that bravery. He don't have that bravery. He don't take it up on himself. But if that's the case, then you ask, you know, yeah, it's like you caught him out already, man. The one question you asked him, I've got so many questions like that, but just to say that was the best one. Would you kill your child? Like, man don't have no sense. Once you establish that, it's just to just try and encourage people around him to grow them.
Because he's operating under the same concept that the Europeans taught us. You see what I'm saying? The same concept that God will send his only son to die instead of protecting his only son. Because if I have an only son,
we could make excuses like that. But at the same time, he's a grown man. He has a daughter on his back. So I'm sure he's sitting down reading books to her as she's growing.
Right. But you have to understand, you know, just as you say, you know, some of us, what do you call it? Some of us are forgetful.
We're forgetful, very forgetful.
You see what I'm saying?
Very.
So because at one point, myself and many others we were not so illiterate. No. Because I think people like you and many of the people who are here now who are listening to this reasoning that are basically, you know, you mentioned the right word. You said something, because they see us basically getting to this awakening. You know, you didn't use the word awakening, but it's like something is going on where they're like, oh, you were
life shouldn't be so hard. Lion. I said life shouldn't be so hard. It's just,
you know, they have the cub, and
they kill the parents of the
cub to a point. But then when the cub turns to a lion now, and the cub be like, yo, something snapped in that lion. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, he just grab onto the trainer's neck, and he be like, yo, motherfucker, I'm a lion. I'm gonna kill you now. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing that was happening with a lot of, especially African people, black people. It's like we snap out of this cub state, and we're like, yo, you know, I'm not domesticated anymore. You know, and because of that now, we are looking back now at the cubs who they domesticated, and we'll be like, yo, you're a lion. You're a lion. You see what I'm saying? You're a lion. Stop being a cub. You see what I'm saying? Stop jumping through hoops.
It's difficult, because the rendition that they've given is that for you to be disobedient, you're the devil, to what they're saying. But I want to say it like this way. It's not disobedience, because my parents, just so we understand, everything replicates in this universe. So my parents weren't looking to be my parents forever. They must know they've got an end date. So if they weren't preparing me to be responsible for myself, independent, then they failed as parents. They must teach me how to wipe my own ass and feed myself. They must teach me that, because that's what they're claiming. That's the only job they have there. But even then, I can still feed myself. No one teach me how to seek out a breast and suck. So that's intelligence that's divine within myself, you know? And I have my own goals and aspirations. But literally, that's their job. Parents' job is to imbue all the wisdom on the child so that they're prepared and stand up on their feet and carry on the works of their parents. Which, like, when I say works, like literally, when parents die, they have a will that they leave over. And it's like people saying, no difference from God's will is infinite. No, it'll keep carried on. The houses belong to me. and my sister and the children, and we'll pass it on and everything that we work towards. And this is literally what we've been cheated out of. Someone else controls our will. And this is the problem we have. The narrative that they give us is keeping us distracted from the very things that they seem to be amassing. It's like the question you ask.
Why is it easier? Why is it easier for black people to listen to a pastor who's trying to get money out of them than to listen to you, though?
Because we like group settings. We're comfortable within group settings, and our group setting is in servitude. Where we find our people is in positions of servitude. Even if they say they're the boss, they're serving someone else. Banks, Europeans, like they always serving Europeans. So whenever they tell us how they got there, they are asking us to be subservient. We literally send ourselves to their schools to be programmed. You go to any school which you think is worth going to, it's established by European concepts. America was discovered by Christopher Columbus. Telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. This was done by this white man. This was done by this white man. So literally, they just keep. Why we come in at forgetful process and are so vulnerable without a psychic defense? I want to call it a psychic defense because, you know, as an adult, you grow up and you know how to express it. Someone tell you something you don't like, you tell them suck their mum. F off. Straight away, that's you verbalizing a psychic defense. You've irritated them to the point they don't even want to try and hypnotize you anymore. But when you're too peaceful and calm, and all that message keeps getting, that rhetoric just keeps repeating in your head, it becomes hypnotic. Like I said, the man you were speaking to, for example, he had nothing inside his head that he'd heard to be able. Nothing inside his head that he had heard to make him feel comfortable with agreeing with you. He didn't have nothing to say, but it was awkward for him to agree with you. Of course he wouldn't want to kill his daughter, but he could not find a way because of how you worded your question to say, no, he wouldn't do it. He just said, God won't ask me to do that. Then he's telling you he knows what God's intentions are. That's how I'd have left it. So you're God then. Well done. Now make sure you look after your children because they're God too. You know, at the stage when you become a weak God, your child might forget you need food or just deliberately leave you in a room and never come upstairs and visit you and give you food or check on you, and you just die off. And that's the importance we have for each other.
You know what I keep telling, especially people who are not literate, brother, and people who have not traveled and see the outside world, and people who are not trying to research and get any form of information or any additional knowledge. I keep telling them to put the Bible down, bro, because if you do not know how to read this book, it will be detrimental to your whole
being,
tree.
yeah, your whole lineage.
Not even your being, your whole
lineage, your whole lineage, your ancestors, your descendants.
Yeah, your whole, bro. Yeah, we've been destroying our whole the whole family tree, bro, is destroyed because of this book, bro. Because we have people who are preaching it to you and preaching it the wrong way. People who are learning it the wrong way. People who are subscribing to the wrong. And you're like, yo, put down this book and just go off your instinct. Your instinct is like when a cow, you know, has a calf, you know, as soon as a calf make a sound, the cow is like running, like, you know.
It knows what it's going for to provide. Yeah.
A buffalo knows that the lion is dangerous, but the buffalo is gonna take on the lion to save the calf.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's just that motherly instinct just kicks in, and that mother would rather give up its life to protect that calf. You see what I'm saying? So if black people would just be like, you know what? Let's put this book down, man, and just go after like natural mystic, you know, just go after instinct, you know, because something is always like telling you, like, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is what I should do, this is what I should not do.
One important reason why to be careful of that. What's to stop them from doing the same thing again? I just told you, when they kill parents, you no longer get an instruction from one who's like you, and they take over. So what's to stop them? We must master this so that it never happen again. You must master these books or way of speaking. This
yes,
is what they say.
But mastering this book, bro, if you're not, you see, when people get to the point, like the point where you're at, and many of these people who are listening to you are at this point where they can basically learn this thing now, they can master this thing now because they're not taking it literally anymore. You see what I'm saying? And the problem is majority of black people is taking this book literally, bro. Like waiting for someone to burst out the sky and be like, yo, what's up, man? I'm here.
It didn't say sky, it said cloud. But again, going back to that, I'll just throw to you. What's the cloudy solution that man produces? It said Jesus shall come with the clouds, right? He shall be seen in the clouds. You remember the cloudy solution? Inside the Quran, it says a useless drop of cloudy water. That's what it calls it. Yeah? and it does a metaphor as well. It has a metaphor as well. But literally, do you know what? I feel like since people are struggling, for you to take the pacifier out of their mouth, you must push it inside till they spit it out.
Ah, good point. So that means I'm going to keep giving them the Bible, then I'm going to keep reading it.
Because they don't read it. So you must sit there. The pastor don't do it. So you start from book 1. You say, everyone, turn the page like a school. Read. This word means this. This word means that. You must. Until there's enough people that are just like, you know, we're so tired of hearing this. We all get it. Okay, I'm God. Because no one want to take their responsibility. No one take responsibility for their actions.
That argument sealed it, bro. You don't take the pacifier out the baby.
He's fighting you, so push it inside, make him spit it out.
Christian people who just.
By the way, I want to do you one more word.
This pacifier.
One more word. Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, which means anointed. And as far as I've understood, the anointing that he speaks in the Bible in these books is done with oil. Melanin is an insoluble oil. Something to think about. I mean, the priests of God. If you really want to go with the interpretation, I can do the science, I can do the religion.
Does that mean we're all anointed?
Says the eye is the window to the soul. So you can start seeing the recession in some people.
Bro, I'm telling these people that we are the Christ, bro. We are Christ.
That's what I said to you at the beginning. I said, as black people, we are the most fertile on the planet. Other people are looking for an extension on their life. It's us to give it to them. But if they trick us and we don't know our value, they can just take life from us anyhow. Some of us are breeding up with white girls we don't like just because it's to fit into society. And we're doing ourselves damage on a genetic level. The real truth of it is simple. Like, that is the value we had to people. People literally stole us. They weren't stealing the gold, they were stealing us. Like, now they take the minerals. It's the minerals that are in our body because it's very underneath the soil. We eat the food that's breaking down the minerals in the soil. And you know, Africa and West Indies got gold, it's got barium, it's got all sorts of minerals that have their own, how to say, the way they interact with energy, for example, like solar energy, like certain minerals, if they get heated to a certain point, the way they start to vibrate, they start to give off frequencies as well. And these things are important in the body's function. You know, like you might see the tip where people talk about crystals, they might have, I want to mention something, but I can't remember the name, like a black stone that they put in water to clean the water. Have you seen it? Like they drop the, something, sonite, words just escaped me for some reason, but they put it inside the water and literally we have these broken down inside of our body. Our bones are denser than Europeans. If you go to a dentist, they might use a drill on your tooth. This might be the example that just makes someone a head ring because they did it to me. They didn't tell me this before, but when they were using the drill on my tooth cracked. It's because my tooth is not soft. So it could only stress out to crack. It split. And then they explained to me, oh, we don't usually have this with Europeans. I was like, what? Their bones are soft. Their bones are less dense. This is a disease, though. In some people, it's called osteoporosis, where their bones have holes in. It's literally hollow.
But you know what's funny? When we speak...
Someone put it there, Shungai. Yeah, that's it.
Hold on.
Black stone.
When we speak the true science, they label us as being racist.
I don't mind, man.
You see what I'm saying? But then,
I don't mind.
Why is your science available for us to repeat?
Do you know what it is? I'll be very fair with you. They made a mistake. They wanted to know too much. This isn't my science. This is theirs. The mistake that they made is, I know solar panels must take in solar energy, not reflect it off. That's what white does. So I'll never ever see a white solar panel in my life. The oil of the earth is the same color as my skin. It's black. You call it black gold. This is all their science. The problem is they wanted to know too much and be boastful and the source of everything. And I'm realizing you guys talking too much. Europeans are talking too much. They're saying everything they expose, whether it be the camera that they want to claim inventing. They want to, look, Mr. Vegas, look at the TV that we've got. Can you see the color of the screen?
Black.
They're the ones showing all of this. And when they want me to praise them for this, I say, then, do you know what? I think what it was part of before must have had a greater purpose. That was the planet Earth, right? But they don't see the planet as intelligent. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
You mentioned something key, bro, and I'm doing some more research on it. I was because I subscribed to this other brother, RFG. People wanted to subscribe to RFG.
All right, you send me something. I'll connect to him.
Right? This guy is deep, bro. RFG is deep. It's like how you deep, bro. RFG is like deep, bro. And this guy is showing you how, right? Instead of we have iron in our blood, we should have gold in our blood, right? And then I'm listening to him and I'm like, yo, because you know I'm analyzing stuff, because even with this video that we're doing now, you know, later on I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna rewatch this video, I'm gonna take notes. You see what I'm saying? That is how I learn. You see what I'm saying? So
we will learn when we're serious.
I'm listening to this brother now, and the brother is like, yo, you know, you should not, our blood should not have iron. You know, and I'm like, yo, this dude is onto something. Like, yo, you know, the iron-based hemoglobins, you know, needs to turn to gold. And I'm like, yo, what's he saying? So I start thinking, bro, and I'm like, oh shit. Notice everywhere that's tropical, everywhere that black people,
There's gold in the soil.
It was gold in the soil. And they went and they removed all the gold from all the regions, or majority of the gold from the regions, and what they have not removed as if they colonize it, bro. See? And I'm looking at Australia. People used to go to Australia and fight over the gold, bro. I'm looking why Christopher Columbus came to the West Indies, or where we call the West Indies, or this side of, he wanted to find gold, bro. And all this gold that was in the earth was for the plants. And when the plants basically source this mineral from the earth and we eat the plant, our blood,
we're taking it in. Yeah, they've got what they called, the European has what he calls colloidal gold. He has colloidal copper, colloidal silver. It's just basically a soluble means of ingesting the metal ions. So dissolved metals inside of liquid. And because bacteria don't grow on them, they're good for creating rigid cells, well-structured cells, as well as bioelectricity, which our body runs on. You've heard of blood diseases or genetic disorders which cause people to be weak internally, like they can't stand up, they can't have their posture, they don't breathe well, fluid builds up in their lungs, and it all has to do with their ability to generate electricity and be able to contract and relax organs within their body. Like, for example, like the way we breathe, for example, if like some people went in underwater and they had water in their lungs, I'll talk about the metal thing and say, if they had water in their lungs and they couldn't create enough electricity to eject the water, this is how they drown. Literally, they use the same thing in tasers. So they put the charge on you, causing the muscles to contract, and they don't release the taser. This is how you can't breathe. So you end up literally, because your lungs won't release the CO2 out, it's holding you there. And this is what they're using. So I'm saying they're creating devices literally that when you understand how it works, you understand your own mechanics as to why it should have an effect on you. But the gold issue you were saying about is very true, that all elements are present inside of our body. I already told you who it's not, so you can see the clear difference.
Right. The reason why this makes sense to me is when oxygen, when iron is exposed to oxygen, it rusts. You see what I'm saying, bro?
Oxygen and moisture, yeah.
And basically oxygen is being sent throughout our bodies. You see what I'm saying? So the oxygen is basically, if the iron is exposed to oxygen, that is what is speeding up our life force, our lifeline, our lifetime. You see what I'm saying? So we're just here and we're going like this, bop. You see what I'm saying? If they were not removing the minerals from the earth that's supposed to,
remain where they were, we would be balanced. We would be balanced in our own making.
Exactly, bro. And I'm like, yo, that shit makes so much sense, bro.
We do have gold in our body.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I build computers as well from time to time. So if you look on the CPU of a computer, what you start to see is gold pins. And the reason for the gold is because of its way it manages temperature, as well as the way it conducts electricity. So some metals are considered better conductors than others. Some materials are considered superconductors, like I want to say graphite, but I want to be right about superconductor. But basically what happens is you must control the temperature for something to continuously conduct electricity. Like, it must be able to maintain its coolness. This is why, for example, again, melanin becomes important, because it deals with the dispersion of heat, light, electricity. Yeah, that kind of covers everything. Heat, light, electricity. It deals with the dispersion of it. So there's an even dispersion. So it's not supposed to build up in one area and cause uncomfortable sensation, a dis-ease. It shouldn't be doing that. With the wrong diets and the lack of replenishment. Do you know what? To touch on what you said about the metals, we are more similar to how plants are.
Right.
Us.
Right.
The white man knew it because when he went to Australia, he was calling them flora and fauna. He categorized them as plants in dealing with them in the manner he was dealing with them. He literally categorized the Aborigine as plants and was doing all sorts of F3s to kill them off and whatnot. But his recognition, because of the literature he had been given, he did not discover this. He used to come to school with us. Like literally, one of the biggest stories, I don't know if you know, but you know, you must know. The Library of Alexandria. Has a Greek name, but this was in Egypt. It was the biggest library and collection and amassment of worldwide knowledge. This is what they're saying anyway. By the way, my name's Alex. Forget what it says on the thing. My name's Alexander. Like, everyone calls on me to find out stuff. They say Alexa. Yeah,
bro, trust me. We're going to have to save some of the information because we don't want to bust them head open. But we're gonna
bust the head open. You tell them they're God. Anything they don't want to listen to that they don't benefit from, keep doing it to yourself, and you see where you end up. You have yourself to blame.
What we take away from this, bro? We take away so much from this, bro. Right? And you know what? It's if someone is listening, it's time, man, for you to start learning what you're reading about, man. At least start learning what you're reading about.
I've got to give you praise, bro, because you come from a big platform, man. It's not that I don't recognize you. I wasn't on the Facebook as I found out. Once I saw you talking like this, I said, that's a sacrifice you've had to do. Because a lot of people won't allow you to come through certain doors. Some will invite you in, but a lot of people close doors because you're not giving the basic rhetoric that they want.
The day I went into the church, and when I started like learning, bro, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
You knew what you'd have to do.
The day I started reading, bro, I knew I was in trouble, bro.
Because you're gonna have to tell everybody.
Because it's not like I read the Bible before. If I read the Bible before I went to church, I wouldn't have gone into the church, bro. But everything is like a purpose. Like the universe is like, you know, this is your purpose. This is what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So the day I went into the church, because I walked away like, yo, man, I'm afraid to die and go to hell. So I was like, went into the church and I was like, yo, I'm ready to find Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I went in there looking for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you know, I'm ready to do this.
You are serious about it.
Because I was like, yo, God gave me everything I have. You know, I'm going to give him back something now.
Do you know
what I said? So,
exactly what you're saying is how I felt about it. When I was like 16, that was the first time I finished reading the Bible. It took me 3 months. And all throughout work, people were giving their Bibles. I have to read it, highlight the pages I was reading because I had so much questions about stuff I'd read in there. But I never had a disdain for it because when I was reading it, I had my dictionary, I had etymology, the internet was there. So I'm reading it and the message I'm getting ain't even like what anyone else gets. And I'm like, this book says you're God. People looking at me like I'm nuts. I'm just like, Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden for playing sex. Like, this is mom and dad. Like, they tell you if you do this in their house, they will tell you, get out. It's time for you to get a job now. You have to work and provide. Like, they got kicked out of the garden. It's a lot.
But you could feel that way, and it is something that, you know, you're like, oh, but I was like, remember that, bro, when I went into the church, bro, I had a tour in Africa ready to go on tour, bro. You see what I'm saying? I had 50Ks on the table, bro. I walked away from 50K. I'm not even talking about the expensive, bro. This is me taking on.
You need to let people know that because they think you're playing games like you are just trying to torment them. They don't know you had a set life. They don't understand these things. I can see it clearly when he's talking to you.
Bro, I'm cutting 10K a show easily, bro. Easily. Broke It Down is like 3 years old, bro, 4 years old, bro. I'm still performing Broke It Down everywhere, bro.
That man.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I had a tour lined up, bro, and I was like, yo, Adrian, I can't do it, bro. I was like, yo, man, it's time to let go, bro. And I remember the 1st December, bro, the DJ, Adrian, everyone was like, no money, bro. And I was like, yo, God is gonna provide for y'all, man. Trust me. And I started believing that, bro. And when I started reading the Bible, I was doing 7 hours a day with Stitchy, bro. 6 hours a day, bro. I was in. I was like 8 o'clock Sunday morning. I was on it right here, bro. I was like, yo, Jesus is this and Jesus is that, and Jesus is gonna come and this, that, repent before it's too late. Blah, blah. Bro, when I started reading this thing, bro, and I was like, huh. What? I read, bro. When I reached the book of what? I think it was Numbers, bro. And I saw where God choked those people for complaining, bro. That was it, bro. I cried my brother. I called my brother Neil. I was like, yo, Neil, I'm afraid of God star. I'm afraid of God be. God told the people if complain, bro. And they murmured within themselves. So I was like, yo, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, bro. I couldn't.
I see a lot of reasons for people to want to wake up. Like for me, even though at 16 I wasn't seeing as much videos of the European police officers shooting people that are unarmed and just killing them, getting away with it, and the excuse and story that they give that is just a curse on the dead person's head. That for me should be enough for anyone to just say, you know what, I can't expose my kids to this type of society.
When I saw if a slave master beats his slave to the point, you know, like beat him and
the compensation.
Within if he does not die within 2 days, the slave master must not be punished because the slave is his property.
It's his property.
I was like, God wasn't on slavery. I was like, I'm in trouble, bro. How am I going to tell these people this now? So I was like, I just walked away from my fans, walked into the church. Now I'm gonna have to be like, and I knew it, bro. I knew they were gonna say, "Him confused, him a mad, him a idiot," and I was like, I have to do this. It's a sacrifice. I have to do it. I have friends who don't talk to me to this day, bro. I have people that are afraid of me, bro. I have radio station that will not play my music, bro, because again,
they will eventually get it.
Thinking of the immediate
they will eventually get it.
Or the immediate suffering that they may have to suffer if they associate themselves with me, bro.
Yeah, because they don't want to be rejected from their family and the people around them. But they will eventually get it.
They're not even segregating because they love God, you know. They're segregating because they are afraid that God may do them something if they associate themselves with me.
Do you know what it is? It's in your circle. Maybe you're the one individual that speaks like that to them. Maybe there's two. But because it's not dealing with the majority of people they interact with, that's where they're going to always find discomfort. But it's not a small message. You can look at everybody else is conducting themselves like God on this planet, manipulating the future of other people.
Everyone, they're asking your name, bro. Sorry to cut you off. They're asking your name, bro.
Oh, I am Louis on Facebook. I typed it, I put it there. I am Louis.
You type it, bro.
I am Louis. Sorry.
Bro, we definitely hope, bro, that you will.
Thank you for having me on,
bro.
You know,
bro, we want you to open up your platform, bro, because trust me, this may be something that you must do, bro, that you have to do.
I'll do it eventually, but your inspiration for that. So once again, you're doing what you do. You inspire people to be artists and speak. You inspire me to want to speak out. That's why once I was listening to the video, I was like, you know what? If he picks me, I'll talk. I was a bit shy,
bro,
but
you're not, bro. I'm going to open a building here in Jamaica. I'm trying to find a building, bro. And trust me, if you're in Africa, I'm going to fly you in, bro. Because trust me, if we can educate 10 black persons,
it means something.
If we can educate 10 black persons per year, 1 year, and say to 5 of these people who are willing to sacrifice, willing to leave an inheritance for their children, bro. Because that's what it's about, bro.
That's it.
Even the Bible tells you, leave inheritance for your children. But these people are running around talking about blessed are the poor. How the hell you leave inheritance if you're poor? You see what I'm saying, bro?
They weren't listening.
Your inheritance that you're leaving is Jesus is going to come. That can't feed children. You see what I'm saying, bro?
They weren't listening.
So give thanks to the reason, bro. Send me your number after here, bro. I'm going to be like a parasite in your wings, bro.
Brother, you're going to be like a brother. That's what you're going to be, man. It's not parasite. You can never be parasite to me. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep watching
Send
people.
me the number after here, bro. Send me the number after here.
All right, no.
All right, give thanks.
All right.
People, you see the Bible, I like it. The Bible says, if you drink of this water, you will have everlasting, you will not thirst again. It come like me, the Bible that talk about. You know, say I'm me a Jesus. Me I go tell you now, since me realize say I'm me a Jesus. If you drink of that water that the brother just gave you, you will never thirst again. Trust me. Believe me, because I had a drink. And I tell you, I don't think I will ever thirst again. What that mean? Me not look for no Jesus blood for drink again. Me, When I go back to church, I do. Me not thirsty again. One time you start running, I say, I want some of Jesus' blood. Oh, Jesus, you shed your blood for me. Now, say, my belly full. Me never thirst again. Have a drink. Play back the video. You can cut out the full brother part. The brother will hold me. Me Facebook all week at me say him worried about me. But him not worried about him daughter when would have sacrifice. But he's worried about me. Cut him out. We had two brothers that came on that you can have a drink. Have a drink. And trust me, you will never want Jesus' blood again to drink. Trust me. Alright? Big up on yourself. One love. One more time after the big tune. Have I play music, you know, because then we think some top sing. Eh? Make sure you go on YouTube, people, and download Can't Go Without and the other song them. See? You don't know that the offering we are throwing in my church. You see me come on every day from week, come talk to you, from wedding, me come every day, come talk to you. If me never come on today, we want to get to talk to this brother and his beautiful message. The brother opened up my eyes, seeing so much. That's why I love learning of people. Don't stop learning, people. Anytime you think say you're better than learning, seeing your day sad. Keep learning. You know man say learn the Bible. Keep learning, man.
Make it go. Make it go. Make it go. When girl killer I go. We love the girls them. We not deserve them. Not go hurt them. Fuck around we must give strength we work them. Yeah. We can't go without sexy amount. But bad man not kill girl over front. Say you is a girl is but you is a punk girl. Give her the loving and him a full of rubber thump. We can't go without sexy and weak. But bad man not kill no girl with it. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Baby mother in no stop beat. Bad man no I tell over them body. You kill the girl when you do when you're horny. If me girl say she no longer want me just tell her and go drop this a sonny. Dear son, get a hot bun. Who no deal with the trend drafting gun. Kill the girl and make a pretty lay down. Idiot that kill girl see tun. Me can't go without sexy amount. But bad man not kill the girl over front. Say you is a girl, is but you is a punk girl. Give her the loving and him a full of rubber tongue. Me can't go without sexy and weak. But bad man not kill no girl when we. Some man a say that them a done out the street. Me baby mother is not stop on a
Pull up. Isaac Coleman say him love the teaching people. Well, we have to give thanks. Because remember Isaac did I tell you the other day say people intestine in them bottom. So right now we have Isaac as him love the general teaching. So from Isaac enjoy the teaching today. Me know say wanna enjoy the teaching too. Me see Mike still a go on like him stubborn. Seeing? Tyrone, me don't know if you just come on, but Tyrone, if you just come on, you need to check out the brother. Check out the reason we just had on the platform, Tyrone. I mean, know say Tyrone is a stubborn youth too. But you hear the reason and you see the logics, my youth. The meaning of Abraham, the meaning of Moses. It makes sense. Moses means drawn from the water. And you see in the water, they're going to find Moses when them dry him out of the water in the basket. You see it? Everything add up, people. Me tell you people the thing of metaphysics. Me know say metaphysics. You think me an idiot? Metaphysics, people. Big up on yourself. One love.